Yo. Yo. Sorry. Unplanned stream. Well, I mean, it was planned, but I never scheduled it ahead of time. My bad. I wasn't able to schedule in the morning. Let's go. Yeah, I'm sorry. I wasn't able to schedule in the morning. I apologize for that. My bad, guys. Sorry. I was trying to schedule it. I was trying to schedule it like right away, but I was kind of short on time, so I kind of had to leave. And then I can never schedule it from my phone. It is so confusing, dude. So I was like, all right, I'll just go live right away. Later, chef. Hey, man. Oh, no, I'm sorry. I apologize. I'm sorry, Audrey. Ellie's a little tired. She's resting. She's chilling. So, we're probably only going to read for like 2 hours. Because I am low on memory. So, this is going to be the last recording before I transfer everything to a cloud service. Perfect farming for Ellie? Yeah. So, after this stream, I'm going to upload everything on the cloud, make space, and then I need to buy an SSD. I'm probably going to buy like a 4 terabyte SSD and then just transfer all the videos into that. Hi, Ellie. We're reading Lord of Mysteries today. Oh, she left? No, she's right here on the floor. Alright, let me get a chapter open. I got it right here. We're on 414. Oh, people are definitely going to be mad at me because I didn't schedule it. I apologize for that. Let me just put this here. Sorry, I'm eating a haichu that I bought from Japan. So damn good. Alright, I'm almost done. We're gonna read in 30 seconds. Zero stalling today. I hope you guys are having a beautiful day. Because we're going straight into it. Let me just give Ellie a little kiss and then I'm gonna let her be on her way. It looks like you want attention. Lord of the Ellies? We are reading Lord of the Ellies today. Alright, let me swallow my haichu because I won't be able to read like this. Alright, I'm ready. Hope you guys are ready. You know, my goal was to get to chapter 420 on the date 420, but it didn't turn out that way. Alright, switch to playlist. Let me close this one for my other videos. Music quite low? I got you. Let me raise it. Yeah, for some reason the Elden Ring music is pretty low. But let me switch our Lord of Mysteries playlist. From the looks of it, it looks like we're gonna have a fight. So we're gonna see how it goes. Are you guys ready? Because I'm excited. Look, even Ellie's excited. We're ready. Are you ready, Ellie? It's fight time. Last time we read, girl, your heart's racing. Chill. You get too excited when you play. Yo, raise it. I know we're gonna raise the music right now. Cammy, our DJ, is here. You gotta help me lock in and tell me what music to play. Because last time I remember, we ended off with a bang. I don't know what's about to happen, but we're gonna find out. And also, I apologize for not scheduling the stream. Woo! I'm excited though. I'm ready. I'm pumped. Let's go straight into it, and we're just gonna play this for now, and we'll see what happens. I'm sorry, Romero, I didn't schedule it. But let's just go right into the chapter. Regular fight music, but we'll play while closing in. All right, let me do my timestamp. Yeah, we're gonna stream for like 2 hours today, because we don't want a really big recording, because we don't want to run out of memory space. So we're gonna record this for like 2 hours. We're gonna upload it. Put everything in the cloud, and then I'm gonna see where I can find like a cheap SSD. Alright. Timestamps. Holy shit, I can't do fucking math today. 46 seconds. Chapter 414. Also in my notes, I'm at 250. So I'm a little behind. But we're catching up on my notes. Alright. Let me put while closing in, and we'll get started. Woo! I'm ready. I'm pumped. Also, dude, did you guys fucking see the Oblivion announcement? Holy shit, bro. They're fucking revealing. They're literally just gonna shadow drop Oblivion. That's so fucking wild. I can't believe they're just shadow dropping it like that, bro. Supposedly the shadow drop was today. I'm reading through your crash shot on the Manhwa channel right now. Wait, they did it? They did the oblivion? Dude, fuck yeah, dude. They sent out a tweet. I'm reading through your crash out on the Manwa channel right now. What crash out? I don't have a crash out. I won't be rage bait, Red Devil. I'm gone. What? Did I have a crash out? When? Okay, wait, here. You let me know right now. I don't remember having a crash out. What manhwa? Shit, I can already tell Ellie wants to go out. Hey. Hey! You need to stop ripping it! She freaking teared her bed apart, man. Look, she's eating the inside. Oh, you're crash out? Hey! No, you're in trouble. No. Stop biting your bed, because I gotta bite you a new one now, okay? You gotta chill. You gotta chill, girl. Easy, now finish this volume. I know, I'm ready. I'm not asking Red Devil. I know, I'm ready to finish it. You gotta hang out with me now. You're freaking biting your bed. Chill. I gotta buy you a new one now. Alright, are you guys ready? Let's start. Chapter 414 is called the Apostle. What the heck? Zero stalling. Watch me. Desire Apostle. Wait, am I even recording? Yes, we're recording. While Stuart was raising his gun to aim at Klein, who had long been on guard, had already detected, he lunged forward at the same time as Stuart performed his series of actions. Bang. Stuart, who was clearly out of control, pulled the trigger, and the bullet grazed the side of a private detective's face as it hit the wall. You know what's funny? This song is called... No, never mind. I thought the... Oh, yeah, it is. Wall's closing in. Get it? Hits the wall. Look at that. This song went full circle. Instantly, the other detectives pulled out the Oh, my God. I can't read. I'm too excited. Instantly, the other detectives pulled out the revolvers as a result of the stress. It was as if they were looking at the enemy, turning the scene extremely chaotic. Among them, Stuart and a private detective had flushed faces and bulging veins. Their eyes burned with a mixture of fear and anger, as though they had turned into so-called devils. At this moment, Kozlana bellowed, what? She bellowed what? Bellowed, stop. Her voice wasn't loud, but it was filled with awe. It made everyone's body tremble, and they subconsciously complied. I'm sorry, what? Is she an interrogator? Or whatever you say? No, not, never mind. Hold up. Stop. Her voice wasn't loud, but it was filled with awe, made everyone's body tremble, and they subconsciously complied. Although there was a brief moment of silence, everyone's mood didn't seem to improve. Klein had already rolled over to the other side and stopped with his revolver in his hand. His mind raced, and he couldn't afford to hide his thoughts. He planned to rely on his hallucination ability to calm down the few visitors. Devils, perhaps, Red Devil. Ooh, I understood that. Suddenly, the doorbell rang. Ding dong, ding dong. A few of the private detectives suddenly became alert. Dude, thank you for following. Oh my God, dude, we went up so much already. We're 1,824. Thank you. A few of the private detectives suddenly became alert, and their eyes revealed a hint of lucidity. The tinkling of the doorbell was like a bucket of cold water that pulled over their heads. Stuart looked at a revolver in his hand and mumbled in a daze. What was I doing just now? The official Beyonders had made their move. Klein breathed a sigh of relief, approaching the door as he held his revolver. The moment he held the handle, the image of a person outside appeared in his mind. Ellie, what are you biting? One sec. Hey, what are you biting my tote bag? I like this tote bag. Chill, Ellie. Damn. You know what? Should I let her bite a ball? I think, right? I think this is safe, right? She can buy a baseball? Ellie. Hey. Ooh, you look really excited. Go. There. I think it's okay to buy a ball. It's not like she's gonna tear it apart. She's losing control, man. All right, you guys let me know if she's going too crazy biting shit. You let me know. All right, let's continue from right here. Stuart looked at a revolver in his hand and mumbled in a daze. What was I doing just now? The official Meanders had made their move. Klein breathed a sigh of relief, approaching the door, and he held his revolver. The moment he held the handle, the image of a person outside appeared in his mind. It was in a man in a black coat and a hunter's hat. He had gray temples and thin face. Oh, it's Eisenard. Wasn't he killed? Isengard Stanton, the detective's face was somewhat pale and his left arm was propped up near his shoulder. Oh, they assumed he was dead. He's alive. He really is alright. Klein was delighted at first, but then he became cautious. He remembered the day when the nimble right master Rizago had transformed into a constable to knock at the door. Oh, that did happen. No, we didn't find his body. Okay, presumably dead, but he made it out alive. Klein placed his finger on the trigger, pulled the door open, and took 2 steps back. Isengard Stanton smiled and nodded at him. Thank you for your visit this afternoon. Oh my God, I can't read. Thank you for your visit this afternoon. Otherwise, I might not have been able to continue playing hide and seek with that devil. So it really is a devil. You saved my life. This, could it be the correct interpretation of a suitable date for visiting Eisenard Staden? Is that by visiting him this afternoon, I was able to help him out of trouble? What about the next few days of suitable dates for visiting? By skirting around the murder scene, I wouldn't be suspected. Klein didn't know whether to laugh or cry. He didn't let his guard down as he made his way. What exactly happened? We'll talk later. Isengard suddenly lowered his voice and laughed. Do you wish to discuss what the subject of Beyonders in front of the steward and the others? So here you are mentioning Beyonders to me so naturally. Yeah, so he's just revealing, like, Klein is like, okay, bro, no. Isengard is telling Klein, like, all right, you don't have to keep up the act. I know you're a Beyonder, you know I'm a Beyonder. So here you are mentioning Beyonders to me so naturally. That's right. I was able to remain in a deadlock with the Master of the Devil Dog for more than 10 minutes. That serves, so it's not him. Damn, it would have been crazy if it ended up being Isengard. That serves to prove that I'm no ordinary person. Besides, the suggestion I previously offered pointed straight at a devil-turned-animal. Klein quietly stayed behind Isengard standing by 2 steps. Upon seeing this great detective, Kazlana and her assistant Lydia let out a sigh of relief. Stewart and the other private detectives also showed a look of relief. Are you alright, Mr. Staden? They asked. Isengard slightly moved his left arm and said, a little injured, but not too badly. Wait, should we keep playing this? Well, this taco ball. I don't know if she can bite a baseball. You really like that baseball, huh? Yeah, I'll let her bite it. I've had that baseball. The Isengard Master of the Devil Dog Filter, it did. You know what? Let's pause the music. We'll pause the music. Yeah, keep song? Okay, we'll keep it. We'll keep it. Then let me just lower it down for me just a smidge. Because I know when music is too loud on my end, I get a little lost in thought. More than I normally do. Theory, Master, Easy, got wrong. We'll get the next one. We'll get the next one. Wait. By the way, speaking of Theory's username, I said it on Anime Wiz when he was streaming last night. Dude, I did not catch the 4 different quote-unquote pathways that Klein was looking at. They were literally pointing to the red moon. So now we know, presumably we know, that the path, whatever pathways like connect or whatever, like, you know what I mean. Basically, they're pointing to the red moon for whatever reason. I don't know what. The red moon, yes. What I think it's happening, so we know the Evernight is called the Lady of Crimson. No. Remember, they're trying to like throw me off. It's not pointing at Evernight. I think that the Evernight goddess took over as a new god of the moon for whatever reason, right? I assume they want more believers of the Evernight goddess rather than like whatever original entity was the red moon, right? That's why in the trailer you see like 4 bridges, but they're not a bridge. It's almost like a quote-unquote pathway. You see how much of a coincidence that is? Trailer 3. 4 rows or 4 lines are pointing to the red moon, and I never caught that. So I'm assuming these pathways are pointing to whatever is the end game or original entity of the red moon. I told that to Anime Wiz, and he also didn't catch those the red moon. I was literally just randomly watching the trailer, getting hyped and excited. Like, I was like, man, this trailer is so damn good. And then I was like, wait a fucking minute. That's the red moon. It's like, why is Klein looking at like 4 different pathways pointing to the red moon? I don't know what none of that means, because that clearly was never foreshadowed in season 1 or in volume 2 as of right now. But we'll see how it's all gonna connect. You know, we'll see how it connects. Oh look, I did the Tenet thing. We'll see how it all connects in the future. Now that I've been sidetracked. Oh no. Why the fuck did it fall? my Millennium figure. It didn't break. I got a little too excited. Okay, no, we're good. I thought it fucking broke, bro. Oh, it's gonna fucking piss me off. I wonder where's my Ranny one. I have that one. I don't know where the fuck it went. At the end of the stream, look at the Pathways in trailer and cook a bit. Dude, we originally cooked. Bro, Anime Wiz is catching up to you. You gotta refast. I know, man. I'm fucking scared. I already know, man. He's gonna finish Lord of Mysteries before me. He's gonna beat it before me. What I could do, I could call out Thursday and Friday. Okay, but no stalling. I'll be honest, I might call out Thursday and Friday. I might just call out one day. We'll see. We'll see how we're looking with hours. But I will call out one day just for you guys, so we can go as long as we can. But let's continue. All right, let's continue after like being a little sidetracked. Zero stalling. Are you all right, Mr. Sandin? They asked. Eisenard slightly moved his left arm and said, a little injured, but not too badly. Okay, everyone, don't be nervous. This will be over soon. The police are waiting for that bastard in the darkness nearby. Is it because of the serial murders? Have you locked onto the suspect? Will he hurt the innocent? The private detectives asked frankly. Eisenard pressed his right palm down. Don't worry, I'll tell you in detail in the time to come. But before that, I need to find out a few things from Sherlock and Kazlana. We'll head to activity room for a few minutes. He accumulated prestige, made the detectives sit down without rebuting, although they were still worried that they no longer had the problem of fading to suddenly losing control of their emotions. After entering their activity room and closing the wooden door, Klein took a look at the enclosed room and suddenly thought of something. This kind of environment is very suitable for using the items like the biological poison bottle. Klein cleared his throat, walked across the room, and opened a window. He still didn't relax his wariness against Eisenard's status, nor did he believe that Kazlana was absolutely trustworthy. Eisenard looked around directly, taking Klein's reclining chair before chuckling. Being old, I like to sit like this. Sitting on a single sofa, Klein asked again, Mr. Sandin, what exactly happened? Eisenard looked at Kazlana, who was standing behind a coffee table, and said, we're all beyond her, so I won't So she was using her beyond her powers. Eisenard looked at Kazlana, who was standing behind a coffee table, and said, we're all beyond her, so I won't explain stuff pertaining to general knowledge. Beyonders. Kazlana first looked at Klein, then at Eisenard, slightly surprised but not at all that shocked. So it turns out that you're also beyond her. Why were you stumped by a weak ghost back then and unable to even discover the problem? Yes, perhaps she's from a sequence that isn't good at dealing with shadows or wraiths. Klein responded to her gaze. Okay, so she probably excels in other parts. Eisenard smiled and said, I once went to the Lemberg for 4 years of studies where I came into contact with the Beyonder world and became a believer of the God of knowledge and wisdom. After returning to Backland, I gradually established a good relationship with the military of the Church of the Evernight Goddess and the Church of Goddess Steam and Machinery, but I didn't dare to reveal my true identity because the mandated punishers would definitely eliminate me as a cult's heretic. On this matter, the official organizations wouldn't help me directly because they would be equivalent to starting a war with the Church of the Lords of Storms. Okay, that was a mouthful. As expected of the Tyrant's Church, Klein asked in passing. Eisenard took out his pipe, but only sniffed the tobacco. This is what the church internally calls the Lord of Storms. Alright, let me first return to what happened today. The person who attacked me and delivered the threatening letters to you is the master of the serial murder from before. Heh. You should know that the murderer is a black dog of the devil sequence, especially Sherlock. You were the first one to point out that the devil might be an animal. Klein smiled, neither denying nor admitting it. Kazlana also just clasped her hands together, not saying a word. Eisenard shook his head and laughed. Don't worry, I'm not an enforcer, but as a believer of the God of knowledge and wisdom, I can't preach in Backland or officially establish an organization. I can only rely on you and others like you for help. I swear I'm not trolling this time. I just saw a spider in a chair. Don't scare me like that, bro. In other words, you can help us take the blame. Klein mocked inwardly. Eisenard continued, seeing that they were still not making any admission. The Devil Dog's master is a Sequence 5 expert. Yes, according to what I know, the Devil's Pathway Sequence 5 is Pathway drop. The Devil Pathway Sequence 5 is Desire Apostle. They can use and control everyone's emotions and desires, enticing them to be corrupted. Is that not what Kazlana did? She low-key did control everybody's emotions and desires, enticing them to be corrupted. When facing a desire apostle, one mustn't have feelings that are too intense. One must make or exhibit overt desires. Otherwise, this is perfect for Klein, dude. This is perfect for a clown magician series. This is literally perfect for him. This is like literally the perfect opponent for a seer. They'll immediately be remotely controlled by him. Otherwise, a seed might be planted in them and have it catalyze immediately. This will make people exhibit many problems and they gradually become corrupted. They might also lose control of their emotions at a critical moment and be unable to put up any resistance. This is a portion of the beyond powers of a desire apostle. I have confirmed that these aspects of my battle with him. Okay, it's not Kazlana. It is a guy. Upon hearing this, Klein suddenly understood one of the reasons why the culprit has sent out threatening letters and made such provocative actions. He wanted to anger us. Or scare them, right? He wanted to anger us, make our emotions experience violent changes so that he can bury corruption seed or catalyze our emotions, making it erupt out of control. That's why the freaking detectives pointed their guns at Klein. That's why there's a whole little scuffle. This would make his follow-up attacks simpler and easier. Fortunately, I'm a Beyonder who had experienced many things. At this time, all I had was vigilance and caution. When Stuart and the others saw the threatening leather, their emotions clearly changed. So the Desire Apostle had planted a seed in them. If we hadn't been able to stabilize them in time, the situation would have become chaotic and the internal strife, giving the surrounding official Beyonders little time to react, and thus giving the Desire Apostle ample opportunity. Back when I was with Eisenard Stanton's house, I felt the time move slowly. Was it a result of the magnification of my sudden increase in vigilance, tension, wariness, and other emotions? Klein thought back and felt lucky, so that's how it is. Kazlana seemed to gain an understanding of many things. Isengard rubbed his temples and said, I was almost manipulated by him, which resulted in my injuries. Afterwards, I used a mystical item to play hide and seek in the house. It was only when Sherlock visited the three sides came to a stalemate did I get a chance to have a breather. My poor assistant was looking forward to returning to Lindbergh for Mass of the New Year's Day. At this point, he sighed. Hi, Ellie. Let me let her out. All right, I love you, but you gotta go out. Go. All right, we're gonna let her out, and we're gonna continue reading. One scary devil, he swore, more like the perfect spectator. Bet. Let's keep reading. Woo! I'm ready. I'm feeling good today. I'm feeling good. I'm not out of it. I was gonna say I'm a little out of it, but I'm not out of it. Thank you. There's like 20 of you guys here, even though I technically didn't plan it on YouTube. Thank you. You guys ready? Let's keep going, man. Let me find my fucking place first. All right, I found my place. At this point, he sighed. When the police arrived, I took the opportunity to escape and then use the river to escape the pursuit. Isengard added. He then asked Sherlock Kazalna, how do you plan on handling this situation? After a moment of silence, Lana said, Mr. Stanton, do you have any suggestions? Isengard said, first take the protection of the official Beyonders, preventing the Desire Apostle from daring to take action. While this is happening, we should hope that he's quickly caught or killed. If our hopes aren't met, it's impossible that the official Beyonders will allocate people to constantly protect us. Then we only have two choices. First, it is to change our identity, including our families, and move to a different place with their help. However, no one can guarantee that the Desire Apostle won't discover us. Second, we can directly join a corresponding official organization and become an external member. That way, our identity and place of residence will change as well, but it's much safer. Joining a corresponding of who is he gonna join now? Joining a corresponding official organization, the Machinery Hive Mind, or go to a place like Lindbergh or Mason to join the Church of the God of Knowledge and Wisdom. Wouldn't I then come to have three last names? No, a believer of three churches. Klein felt an inexplicable sense of absurdity. He thoughtfully asked for advice. Are there no other solutions? At this time, there was no change in Kazlana's expression. It was unknown what she was thinking. Isengard Stanton rubbed his pipe and said, yes, that is, if we join the forces to create an opportunity so that we can quickly find and detain the Desire Apostle. Of course, the perfect outcome would be us killing him directly. Bet. We're going to do that. Let's update, pause, and let's keep going, man. I don't think the Devil Dog Master is going to be the final boss, man, of Volume 2. I'm scared how Volume 2 is actually going to end now, man. I'm scared. I'm fucking scared, bro. If it's not this dude, because there's still like 70 chapters, roughly. Like, now I'm like, who the fuck is the final boss going to be? Or like the final bad guy of this arc? It can't be Trissy. Trissy left. Unless Trissy's like hiding in the shadows. Then she comes in, or like she runs into Leonard. We'll see, man. We'll see. All right, everything's updated. Now we update here. All right, we keep reading. Zero stalling. All right, next chapter. The Lord of the... No, I'm kidding. The Lord of the Ring. The Lord of the Rings. Chapter 415, The Ring. Klein didn't have too big of a response in regards to Isengard Stanton's suggestion. He looked at the tightly closed door of the activity room and said, as far as I know, a devil can predict danger before we take action, and they can even determine the source of danger, thus providing an effective response. It's hard to find and restrain him. Isengard nodded slightly and said, yes, that's indeed the case, but this doesn't mean that there are no solutions. What solutions? Kazlana immediately asked. Isengard smiled and said, I fought him head on and witnessed his beyond powers of predicting danger, so I have a rough idea of his strengths and weaknesses. A devil can indeed detect danger before it happens, and it can be done so far quite a significant period of time prior to the danger. As long as we make any plans and take a decisive action that targets him, he would receive the corresponding premonition. So you have to attack without the intention of attacking? Of course, it has to do something that can really harm him. No, the truth is that the strengths and weaknesses of different types of devils are different. Some of them might only be capable of detecting danger 10 to 20 minutes in advance, Klein silently retorted, but he didn't say it out loud. Eisenard continues, the flaw of premonition powers is that it can only detect a person, location, and danger, but it doesn't know the specific details. This gives us an opportunity to take advantage of it. What opportunity? I don't think we can trap a devil that can predict danger, because Lana asks inclusively. I read that wrong. Volume 2 will be the reveal of the true, most powerful dog. It better be. I better see Sissy take this dog out, man. I better see a dog-on-dog fight, bro. I'm trying to see a dog fight. Well, hold up. Not in that way. But, like, I'm trying to see Sissy, like, prevail and take out the devil dog. That would be funny. Klein also nodded in agreement, like, oh, I'm sorry. Did I take that? I'm sorry. I'm just a dog. I didn't mean to do that. I thought we were fetching the same bone. Klein also nodded in agreement. Of course, I can use the gray fog to deceive the Desire Apostle, making him unable to detect danger ahead of time. But the problem is, how can I expose the secrets of the gray fog in front of others? Klein silently added a few words. Isengard chuckled. I'm dumb. Not the devil dog is dead. I meant the devil dog master. Sissy will be like, you're no dog owner. She gets the last hit. That'd be funny. It's true that it won't work normally, but Beyonder's world is full of incredible things. I'm a Sequence 7 knowledge keeper of the Reader Pathway. I'm a Sequence 7 knowledge keeper. This is a new one. Of the Reader Pathway, also known as Detective. Okay, Detective is knowledge keeper. But by honestly telling you this, it's a way of showing my sincerity and cooperating. In this situation, I think honesty is more important than anything else. Only Sequence 7. How could a Sequence 7 escape from a Desire Apostle? It seems like Mr. Stanton has a powerful mystical item. Enlightened Klein shifted in his seat. Does a knowledge keeper have the ability to suppress a devil dog's premonition powers? Kazlana asked with her body leaning forward. No, Isengard said with a laugh. However, I have a ring. It originates from a Sequence 6 rampager of the Reader Pathway. It allows me to differentiate, recognize, remember, and mimic all the Beyonder powers I've seen before. This guy has crazy ass clairvoyance. Its name is John Wick. What do you mean, dude? Of course, against the more powerful Beyonder powers, the chance of failure is higher. Wait, so this is a drawback. Of course, against more powerful Beyonders, the chance of failure is higher. However, there's a maxim in our church. Omniscience means omnipotence. Does this tie into the creator, the omniscient, omnipotent creator, like the creator? I don't know. Okay, hold up. Thinking out loud. Why does it sound more familiar? That's what I'm saying. Furthermore, the description of the item, Klein was about to run through his memories. We don't need to run through it. I remember when he saw Isengard Stanna take out a gorgeous ring. The ring was inlaid with many small diamonds. Together, they surrounded a beautiful emerald green gem that looks like a human eye. This has the same description as Four's bracelet, right? Beautiful emerald green gems that look like a human eye, but it never had a human eye description. Just by looking at a ring, Klein felt dizzy, as if he had overworked his mind. Isn't this sealed? He has a freaking sealed artifact? Isn't this sealed artifact 2081? That is close to 2082, right? The puppet. Isengard Stanton is old Mr. What the fuck? Isengard Stanton is old Mr. Eye of Wisdom? Klein looked up in surprise at the detective sitting in there. What? Wait. Was that ever built up? What? No fucking way. So this is the artifact he used whenever he was, this was the item he used whenever he had to validate, like, the authenticity of whatever happened. What the fuck? I remember looking at Isengard Stanton. He was like a chubby looking dude, right? With like an owl mask. Yo, that is so sick. What the fuck? It's the same fucking dude. Isn't this sealed artifact 2081? Isengard Stanton is old Mr. Eye of Wisdom. Klein looked up in surprise at the detective sitting in a reclining chair. That is so freaking cool. It's the same item. The ring was sealed artifact. I'm literally reading the same shit. Holy shit. Where am I? Eye of Wisdom. This codename does sound like it's related to the Church of God of Knowledge and Wisdom. Klein used his clown's ability to... I'm sorry if the audio spiked. I know it spiked. I'm sorry. I'm gonna lower it down a bit. Klein using his clown abilities to control his expression as he looked quietly at Isengard Stanton. In the end, he found some of the outlines of the great detective did match Eye of Wisdom, but there were many details which were highly different. His ability to disguise himself is very impressive. Was it done with the help of 2081? Klein made a rough judgment. At this moment, he suddenly thought of a scene. If Mr. Stanton says, let's all Let all of us work together to resist the Desire Apostle, and the most important thing is honesty. I have already described my sequence of my mystical item. It's your turn. What should I say? Silently take out the sun brooch which he sold to me. At that moment, wouldn't he be going, nice, so it's you, punk? While Klein was imagining things, Kazlana looked at the ring Eisenard stand and showed him, and asked in envy puzzlement, what power are you planning on mimicking to resist the desires of possibility to predict danger? Eisenard curled the corner of his lips and chuckled, the premonition that devil dogs have towards danger. At that moment, he looked like a hoary fox. Ah, that actually works? Klein was instantly momentarily unable to figure out the intricacies. Seeing that Kazlana and Klein puzzled, Eisenard laughed and explained, first, which is what we're currently doing, draw up a plan that can actually harm the Desire Apostle and begin working on it. Second, the Desire Apostle will sense the danger, know the danger comes from us and that it stems from this place. Third, as a devil without any advanced preparations, there are certain things that are instinctual to him that cannot change. His first reaction is definitely to kill us or to exact revenge on us, and there will be certain changes to his body, after which he will consider whether the current situation is suitable for a counterattack or not, and whether he should choose to stay away from us. Fourth, by mimicking the devil's premonition powers, I'll sense the threat of the Desire Apostle and grasp the source of danger, which is also his present location. That's some godly operation. Klein was quite surprised. But what happens next? The Desire Apostle would run away as soon as he realizes that something is wrong. Yeah, he'd run away. We won't even have time to chase after him. Doubts immediately arose in him. Eisenard looked at the two of them and smiled. According to my detections, he must be hiding in our surroundings right now. So he's hiding in plain sight. No matter how good he is at remotely controlling the emotions of others, there must be a distance limit. And just now, he had to let Stuart and the others lose control of their emotions. After I escaped his pursuit, the reason why it took me so long to appear here was because I was discussing a plan with the Nighthawks. Machinery, Hive Mind, and Elementary. In Nighthawks, he was probably talking to Leonard. Oh, it's going to be so good, dude. It's going to be so good. They will each send 2 to 3 squads who are in charge of monitoring the nearby distances. These districts all have their codenames Hep. This will all be within the Desire Apostle's expectations. Even if he senses the danger, he will only treat it as normal. As soon as I confirm his location, I will inform the official Beyonders, and they will rapidly seal off the corresponding areas and close in on him. So it's like a honeypot. They're going to try and lock him in. But herein lies the problem. How are we to inform the official Beyonders? Fireworks. If we're unable to accomplish this within seconds, the Desire Apostle will escape. Of course, he might have fled when he just did. Of course, he might have fled when what he just did had failed, Klein said in thought. If that's the case, we would be out of solutions as well. There's no plan that's absolutely perfect. We can only wait for a particular sealed artifact activation process to complete. When that time comes, the Desire Apostle might have already left Backland, but he might return at any time, Eisenard explained. He then took out a golden palm-sized item. It looks like a miniature telegraph, but it also had a trump on it. This is a sealed artifact. He then took out a golden palm-sized item. It looked like a miniature telegraph, but it also had a trumpet on it. This is a sealed artifact. It can allow my voice to sound out simultaneously up to a range of 5 kilometers. Eisenard... What is that in miles, bro? 10 miles? Lana frowned slightly. Leg? All this for sequence 5. Since there are official Beyonders involved, there doesn't seem to be any need for our cooperation. Eisenard carefully put on sealed artifact 2081 and earnestly said, in order to not alarm the Desire Apostle ahead of time, there's a void power in the nearby district. If the target is ready here, the 3 of us need to help each other to retain him as best as he can. I have a problem. Klein pondered for a moment before agreeing. Kazlana also nodded and said, Mr. Sandin, there's no need for you to explain so much. After all, we'll cooperate for our own sake. An explanation is part of the plan, and an agreement means that the operation is about to begin. Eisenard half closed his eyes. The emerald green gem on the ring of his right hand began to glow with a dark blue light. A dark blue light? Hold up. I actually have that artifact in my possession. You guys ready? I actually have this sealed artifact. Check it out, check it out, check it out, check it out. A little over 3 miles. Oh man, my map was so off. Check it out. Oh, we back. Check it out. I actually have this sealed artifact. Bam. Look at that. Bam. Look at that. What was it? A blue light? The emerald green gem on the ring that looks like an eye of his right hand began to glow with a dark blue light. Look at that. Is that not a coincidence that I bought this in Japan or nah? Suddenly, Eisenard Stanton stood up, pointing upwards with a grim expression. He's right here, upstairs. Klein and Kazlana stood up at the same time, one ready to snap his fingers and light a match on the second floor to jump up directly, while the other followed Eisenard towards the door. Mr. I have wisdom. I'm not easy geeky anymore. I'm Mr. I have wisdom. The Eye of Sauron. None of them expected the Desire Apostle to be so bold as to remain in the vicinity after the failure of the previous machination, right? What? None of them expected the Desire Apostle to be so bold as to remain in the vicinity after the failure of the previous machination. I've never seen that in my life. Easy Beyonder confirmed. Staller sequence. Speaking of Stalling, no, I'm kidding. Right in 15 Ming Street. Maybe he was upstairs watching it all out of a cold gaze while we were discussing the plan to do with him. This thought suddenly popped up within Klein's mind. At that moment, he saw Kazlana's eye suddenly turn red, and her right hand formed a fist as she punched out Eisenard Stanton's back where his heart was. This Klein pupils contracted as he instantly came to a realization of many things. The reason why the Desire Apostle didn't flee was because he still had other plans set up. He still had a seed of corruption in someone's heart that he didn't catalyze. Oh, it's Isengard. That person was none other than Kazlana. One of the only 3 Beyonders here. The reason why the unsuccessful attempt at instigating them was so easily resolved was to let their guard down and wait for the critical moment to make Kazlana lose control of her emotions. The Desire's Apostle's biggest target was still Isengard Stanton. How crafty. Klein snapped his fingers, but it was only an air bullet that was fired at Kazlana. At the same time, he shouted, "Be careful." Isengard had a lot of experience too. He didn't care for what the situation was. He threw himself forward. However, Kazlana ignored the bullet, allowing it to strike her arm, allowing the blood to splatter everywhere. Bam! She punched Isengard in the back, throwing her entire body forward. Kacha! Klein heard the sound of bones breaking at the point of contact was the spine. What? No freaking way we took him out. No, he's good, right? Machinations. Damn insane. Okay, let's pause. Let's keep reading, dude. I'm kind of... Rippo, man, stop. No, his back is fine. He's a Beyonder. He's durable. He's durable. He's durable. I like the name of this chapter. 2 rights don't make a wrong. Bet. That. 28 minutes. 29 seconds. And also, when I was recording Shadow Slave, dude, I only read from like chapter 5 to 7. My voice was so like out of it, bro, since we were like streaming for quite a bit. I'm like, damn, did you download the file? I haven't downloaded it, Romero. I looked at it though, right? Yeah, no, I opened up the link. I know. I did see it though. I'm sorry, I didn't download it because I looked at it from my phone, but I was like, let me download it on my computer instead. But let's keep reading. Chapter 416 is called Two Rights Make a Wrong. Kacha. When Klein saw Isengard Stanton's back cave in, even he felt a faint pain in his spine. Isengard fell to the ground with a thud, seemingly instantly losing consciousness from the pain. Kazlan, on the other hand, stood in her original spot, gasping for breath with a blank look in her eyes. Her forehead was covered in cold sweat, and there was no follow-up attack. It was as if she just had awoken from a long nightmare caused by her emotions. All the strength and... You know what's so funny, bro? I'm going through my notes. Remember the Dragon of Nightmare? This sounds just like it. She just awoken from a nightmare. Remember, like, the Dragon of Imagination? I forgot what the king was. Whatever he, like, thinks happens. But it's kind of similar, right? His son was, like, the Dragon of Nightmare. I forgot the name. But it's kind of reminding me of it. It was as if she had just awoken from a long nightmare caused by her emotions. All the strength of her body had completely disappeared from her previous outburst. Huff, puff. Kazlana's body swayed on the brink of collapsing. Klein's eyes narrowed as he rushed up to Isengard standing in 2 steps. He kneeled and tried to help him. Isengard, who was just sprawling on the ground, cried out in pain, "Run." No. Don't worry about me. No! Protect him. Obviously, he didn't think that a 3-person group, which instantly had one heavily injured member and another losing all the strength, could retain the Desire Apostle. They don't know Klein, man. Thus, he told Klein to immediately escape and meet up with the official Beyonders, otherwise all three of them would die there and then. And at the same time, Isengard raised his right hand with difficulty, attempting to use some of his Beyonder powers so as to attract the attention of the official Beyonders who were quite a distance away. As for the tiny telegraph with the trumpet, it had long since flown to the wall because of Isengard's fall. Klein showed hesitation, and just as he was about to make a decision, he saw the thick black liquid flowing down. What the? Flowing down from the ceiling, quickly forming a pitch black figure.
The figure seemed to be completely wrapped in a black curtain, only exposing a pair of cold blue eyes. What the fuck? At the sight of him, Klein felt as if he was seeing the most intense emotions and desires of a living creature. Fear, wrath, greed, jealousy, hunger, lust, etc. The Exire Apostle didn't waste the situation he painstakingly created, and he entered the activity room almost immediately. Oh, Klein's gonna use the poison bottle. He literally said like a chapter or two ago, this is the perfect spot to use it, right? But he didn't bring it. At this moment, out of the 3-person team of detectives, Kazlana was exhausted from the outburst of emotions, while Eisenard Stanton's Pine was severely injured, causing him to lose his ability to partake in combat. Only Klein was left unscratched. However, other than his revolver and beyond her bullets, all of his... Did I even update? Yeah, we did. All of his mystical items were above the gray fog. Besides, he was facing a Sequence 7 Desire Apostle, a powerhouse capable of nurturing a double dog. At that moment, the corner of Klein's lips curled up slightly. His right hand, which had been placed on the wound of Eisenard's back, abruptly swiped, causing the obvious depression to shift to the side and onto the rib. The magician's most miraculous beyond her powers, damage transfer. There you go. It allowed a wound to be transferred once on a body, turning a serious injury into a minor injury. But it was unable to transfer the damage to the other people or items. When Klein saw that Eisenard Stanton was injured, he had already thought of the subsequent... Oh, so his back is good! He had already thought of the subsequent countermeasures. By first acting as if they were out of solutions to make the Desire Apostle appear... Oh... That... Dude, Klein is so freaking smart. So they acted that he was injured. I thought damage transfer only worked on him. So he can use it on other people. By first acting as if they were out of solutions to make the Desire Apostle appear and then transfer the Great Detective's wound to leave him with only a slight fracture in his ribs, Klein believed that Eisenard would then be able to deal with the Desire Apostle with him. It was a struggle for survival that all humans on instinct. In this way, even if the Desire Apostle realized that something was amiss, it would be too late for him to escape. Same. I hate devils. Once Klein completed the treatment and joined forces with the Great Detective, they would be able to stall the target until the official... Stall? I understood that. I understood that reference. Stall the target until the official Beyonders arrive. You see, stalling comes in handy. Almost at the same time, the ring that Eisenard had pointed outwards had begun to produce greenness that was filled with vitality. A faint glow shone enveloped Eisenard's body, allowing his wounds to quickly heal. The fracture on his ribs was instantly healed. The Great Detective's pain was real, but this helplessness was just an act. However, this overlapped with Klein's help. When the Desire Apostle, who was just about to take action, saw the scene, his eyes suddenly widened and his body stopped abruptly. Being free from any ensnarement, he turned around and ran towards the window. What a... Apostle had completely disappeared. He ran really fast without any hesitation at all. Are you a devil or not? This will only make things worse in the future. The corner of Klein's mouth twitched as he turned to look at Eisenard Stanton, who had rolled around and stood up. The Great Detective happened to look at him. You're capable of healing wounds. You're capable of healing wounds. The two of them opened their mouths at the... They both said the same shit. You're capable of healing wounds. The two of them opened their mouths at the same time and asked the same question. After looking at each other, Eisenard shook his head and smiled bitterly. I never expected that the trap I set will allow him to escape. After he spoke, his ring began to glow and he looked around to confirm that the Desire Apostle had already left. He's gone? Klein healer confirmed. Eisenard then gave it like... I didn't even know he was a healer. He's going to be a good healer in the future. Eisenard then gave a brief explanation. I didn't have the chance to mimic the healing ability this afternoon. Later, I believe that I can use this to set a trap and make the Desire Apostle appear by making him think that I am injured. Oh. Therefore, I deliberately bundled my wound in an exaggerated manner. He pointed to the cushion that elevated his left arm to his shoulder. Oh, that injury. Sure enough, it worked, but I didn't expect you to be able to deal with my... So the serious injury wasn't planned. But the arm on his shoulder, on his left arm, that was planned. He was planning to heal that, but he wasn't planning to like heal his back. Eisenard sighed softly. As a result, both of them putting healing the injuries as their top priority. No one held back the Desire Apostle, so at that moment he realized that something was wrong. He immediately fled. Both Stanton and I had trump cards that the Desire Apostle didn't know about, and we wanted to use that trick on him. We knew that we would cancel each other out and allow him to flee. Is that so-called two rights make a wrong? Klein hesitantly laughed. Two rights make a wrong. So because both thought of the right thing, he escaped. This is because we don't know each other well enough and we didn't have good teamwork. I think that was perfect good teamwork. No, it's my fault, Eisenard said sincerely. When I saw that you didn't run away or defend yourself and instead came over to help me, I should have deduced that you weren't flustered. Then you had the confidence and means, but unfortunately, while wearing the string, my brain remained in a high-tax state. I wasn't able to consider anything else. So sealed artifact 2081 will passively reduce one's intelligence. Klein smiled and said, Mr. Stanton, it's not the time to discuss who's responsible. The Desire Apostle has already fled. We should consider our subsequent actions. Eisenard took out his ring and turned to the door of the activity room. The official Beyonders are arriving soon. I'll go outside to calm Stewart and the others. After that, we can come up with a plan. Are you joining me, or do you plan on handling some of the matters? The official Beyonders, Mr. Stanton, previously mentioned that the Nighthawks of the Machinery Hive Mind and the military, please don't be an acquaintance. Yes, my spiritual intuition hasn't warned me, so it's probably not. Mr. Stanton is giving me a chance to clean up and dispose of any sensitive items so that I don't get in trouble with the unfriendly official Beyonders. Many thoughts flashed through Klein's mind and asked, Mr. Stanton, when you grasped the Desire Apostle location, where was he? Eisenard started and said, your bedroom? He was sitting in front of your desk? Damn, that's scary. How arrogant. Klein pointed out the door and said, I'll head over there to investigate. I'll see if he left behind any traces. If we can figure out what the Desire Apostle truly looks like, it'll definitely make apprehending him much simpler. I'll leave the rest to you. Alright, Eisenard. Sorry, I burped, but I tried to hold it back. Are you heading out? Thank you, man. See me in 2 hours. The stream's still going? Bet, for sure. Alright, Eisenard moved to the side and helped up the weak Kazlana. Seeing this, Klein suddenly found it amusing. Having discussed so much and made preparations to set up a trap, we still failed to restrain the Desire Apostle and ended up in this state. There are just always more actions and preparations. That's why Magician is just sequence 7. He was an unprepared magician in this scenario. After leaving the room, Klein went straight to the second floor and entered his bedroom. The arrangement inside remained unchanged, and even the distance between the chair and desk was no different from before. However, Klein seemed to see a figure wrapped in a pitch black liquid. Oh, it's him. He sat there looking straight ahead, waiting patiently and calmly for a chance. As expected of a cold-blooded, Klein looked at the glass panes on the oriel window and felt that he could divine if it had reflected something. The Devil Pathway is good at crime, so it wouldn't be so easy for him to leave clues behind. However, I can try going above the gray fog to give it a try. Klein inspected the area and began to burn some of the mysticism notebooks he wrote in passing. Not long after he finished dealing with the items, he saw a stranger coming up from the second floor. The leader of the group was a man with a stiff face but a head of frizzled, messy, and stubborn brown hair. In his hand was an ancient silver mirror with strange patterns on a silver mirror. Almost like strange patterns on a silver plate that Rosal used. Easy said he would stream for 5 hours. We'll see what happens. On both sides of the mirror, there was a black gem which were decorated as eyes. Hello, Mr. Moriarty. I am Sir Bernard of the Church of the God of Steam and Machinery. Can I inspect this place? Klein immediately nodded and said no problem. He then politely said, do you need me to follow you and answer any of the questions you might have? Alright, sorry for the trouble. Mr. Stanton had mentioned to me that your situation, Sir said with a smile. Several of his team members followed him behind. They treated him differently, some ignoring him, some curious, some filled with hostility. My situation, how exactly did Mr. Stanton introduce me, and what story did he make up? As his thoughts raced, Klein followed Sir into the bedroom again, while the rest of the official Beyonders paired up, each responsible for different zones of the second floor. This kind of reminds me of Volume 1, when the Nighthawks first inspect Klein's room, but now it's different. Now he knows they're official Beyonders, right? That's cool, dude. Look at that. It's like Volume 2 kind of mirrors Volume 1 in a way, but not at the same time. At different points, they kind of mirror each other. This is where the Desire Apostle sat. Sir pointed at the chair in front of his desk. He had clearly asked Eisenard Stanton. Yes, Klein answered frankly. Without another word, Sir raised the silver mirror and stroked its surface 3 times with its right hand. After a short pause, he said in a deep voice, Honorable Rhodes, my question is, what did the devil who was previously sitting here look like? The lights around him suddenly turned dark, as if enshrouded by the mist of a rainstorm. A strange, aqueous glint appeared on the surface of the silver mirror, forming a scene. A man covered in a sticky black liquid sat on a chair with his back to the window while he faced the bed. Immediately after the scene changed, the mirror in the corner vaguely reflected the dark shadow side's profile, which was similarly colored by the pitch blackness, but he could vaguely make out an outline. The Desire Apostle had very high cheekbones and a pair of cold-looking blue eyes. Okay, let's keep reading. Woo! This is gonna be good. It's gonna be a good volume, man. I can feel it. I can feel it, man. It's gonna be a good volume, brothers and sisters. Oh, it's gonna be a good one. All right. Does he know the name of what? I don't know what we are talking about. Maybe I do. Maybe I don't. I am forgetful sometimes. I do got that Dan Smith memory, and I apologize for that. But as I'm going through my notes, I am remembering things. Also need to properly label my volume 2 notes. I'm gonna start separating my volume 2 notes by like, this is info from volume 1 and then this is info from volume 2. Like all character names, artifacts, everything. I'm having like a little deleted. Oh, if that was a spoiler, it's okay. My OBS crashed again. Hold up. But we're good. We're live. It's gonna buffer for a few seconds, but we're still here. I think I know why my OBS is crashing. I've been ignoring the newest update, and I think it's good. I think that's why it keeps crashing. I should really update OBS. I might not stream tomorrow, so I can update everything and just maybe buy a hard drive in person, and then we stream late. But we'll see. But we'll see what happens. All right, let's do next chapter. I'll keep you guys updated. Next chapter. Timestamp is ready. Let's fucking keep reading. Let's see what happens. Oh, the consequences of asking. No, you're okay. You're okay. It's all good. All right, chapter 417 is called chapter 417. No, that has to be a typo. Wait, what's chapter 417 called? LOTM 417. Our roads? It's called a roads. I found it. I got it. It's called a roads. A roads. That was such a funny title. It's called a roads. Thank you. I had to look it up. They had a typo on their fucking website. Chapter 417 is called 417. No, that's funny. All right. All right. So the actual chapter title, and we literally forgot to update this. Mysterious Fool is gonna be so mad at us. He'll be like, you guys didn't remind me, and I didn't remember. So 417 is called Erodes. Seeing the scene in the silver mirror, Klein revealed a pensive expression. The mirror is very powerful, and it even has its own name. It seems to be a living sealed artifact. A living sealed artifact. I don't. Oh yeah, you're right. Mystical items can have a. They can be aware, right? Or like I said, like they can be self-conscious, something like that, right? I remember that was mentioned in volume 1. My favorite mirror. Let's keep reading. It seemed. You know what mirror I hate? The one that killed Keenly. I'll tell you that much. The mirror is very powerful and it even has its own name. It seems to be a living sealed artifact. Such items may not be too harmful, but the difficulty of sealing it is very high. It's seldom used except for special situations. This person named Eisenard Baron from the Machinery Hive Mind seems to be highly ranked. He should be a Decon and definitely not a simple one at that. Divination is limited, so the outcome would almost be the same as the results shown by the silver mirror. Even if I were to go above the gray fog, I wouldn't obtain a better result. There's no way to determine the desires of possible appearance. There are countless people in Backland with high cheekbones and blue eyes. As Klein was in the midst of his thoughts, the scene produced by the silver mirror quickly dispersed. Following that, words and blood red appeared. Based on the... Oh... It crashed. 1 minute. 1 minute. We're good. We're back. I saw that. We're good. We're back. We're good. We're good. Okay, I saw it crash for a little bit. Following that, words and blood red appeared. Based on the principle of the reciprocity, it's my turn to ask questions. If you lie or are unable to answer, you will have to accept an arranged mission by me or suffer a penalty. Klein pricked up his brows when he saw that. Is this some truth or dare mirror? Interesting. The words, which resembled dripping blood, slowly changed into new characters, forming a new sentence. What is Red Light's true name? Red Light, one of the leaders of the Great White Brotherhood, one of the 7 pure lights above the spirit world. Oh, from when we were on the Traveler, right? Of the okay, I'm remembering it. I'm remembering the pure lights. Klein thought through it carefully and realized that he didn't know the answer. He only knew the yellow light Veni-san. Eisenard's throat bobbed up and down as a sweat gradually appeared on his forehead. After a brief moment of silence, he said in a deep voice, "Nani des?" Wrong. The blood red words on the mirror changed again. Mission or penalty. There was an obvious struggle of Eisenard's face. Finally, he breathed out and said penalty. Just as he finished speaking, a streak of silver-white lightning appeared out of nowhere and struck his head. What the fuck? What kind of artifact is this, bro? Literally truth or dare. With sizzling sounds, Eisenard's hair stood on its end. It stood on their ends. and his body collapsed with a thud. Small amounts of black smoke billowed from his body. However, the mirror didn't fall to the ground with him. Instead, it floated by itself and landed on the desk. After 2 seconds, that's actually kind of funny. After 2 seconds, Eisenard staggered to his feet and sat there, panting while shaking. Klein looked at everything in silence, unsure of how to react. After a while, Eisenard, who had recovered a little, looked at him and said with a forced smile, You should have heard of sealed artifacts and know that they come with certain negative effects. Yes. Klein looked at the standing hair on Eisenard's head and suddenly understood why his hairstyle was so frizzly, messy, and stubborn. Oh, because he's always choosing the penalty. Klein couldn't help but say, actually, you can do the questioning alone. There's no need for you to do it in front of me. Phew, the requirement of using this mirror is that there must be someone watching by the side. Eisenard was still trembling. It's so sentient. Klein took 2 steps forward and came to the table. He carefully looked at the silver mirror out of curiosity and found that apart from the strange patterns and 2 decorative eyes, there was nothing special about the sealed artifact. Eisenard, whose side facing him trembled as he chuckled, You can pose questions to him. We don't mind. No, I don't have any intentions to. How could Klein play true for dare with something like an how do you pronounce it? An Ouija board. As he spoke, he tried to touch the edge of the silver mirror. It's ice cold to the touch and has a metallic feeling. As Klein had this thought, I am messing up my reading in this chapter. As Klein has this thought, he saw the ancient silver mirror tremble slightly. White words quickly appeared on it. Your loyal and humble servant, Rhodes, at your service. Oh, that's the name of the mirror. Rhodes, at your service. Klein's mind momentarily went blank. Then he left the table without any change in expression. What's going on? The mirror was still playing true for dare with others in this very cold, ruthless manner just a moment ago. How did it become like this in a blink of an eye? Klein was amused and puzzled. He quickly made a guess based on the information he had gathered. The silver mirror knows Red Light's true name, so it seemed... Oh, that's his true name. Red Light's true name. So it seems to be related to the spirit world to a certain extent. And the mysterious space above the gray fog seems to be connected to the spirit world as well. At the very least, when I summon myself, I will be able to see what appears to be in the spirit world after passing through the door. And this mirror named Rhodes, able to sense the aura of the gray fog. With these thoughts, the reflection to his mind, Klein saw that Eisenard had recovered and stood up once again. He grabbed the ancient silver mirror, while the other 2 members in the room also stopped pretending that they hadn't seen anything while they were aimlessly searching the room. After a series of inspections, Klein bade Eisenard and company farewell and found Eisenard standing, who had returned to the activity room. What do we do next? He asked directly. Eisenard replied with a solemn expression. Let's have Stuart and the others have their families move in together. It will make it easier to protect them. However, this can only be a short-term solution. You and I, as well as Kazlana, will act normally and receive secretive protection. Let's hope that the desires of the apostle can be found as soon as possible. You're a believer of the god of steam and machinery, right? Yes, Klein replied as he drew a triangular sacred emblem on his chest. At the same time, he illuminated a little. For the foreseeable future, I can only go above the gray fog while inside the bathroom. In Empress Borough, the opulent villa of Earl Hall, Audrey glanced at the elegant-shaped wall clock and slowly sat down in front of the dressing table despite her nervousness and excitement. Let's not go to the pronunciation tutorial. It always gets heated. Tell me about it. I say like easy, but with more pizzazz. All right, here. Let's change the music since we're with Audrey right now. Let's play this. Let's play this. Let's play this. Let's play this since we're with Audrey, just for a little bit. In Emperor's Borough, the opulent villa of Earl Hall, Audrey glanced at the elegantly shaped wall clock and slowly sat down in front of the dressing table despite her nervousness. Audrey should be classical. Fuck, what's the closest thing I have to classical? Sorry. You know what? Let's just... oh my god, I'm spending too much time trying to pick music. Let's go right here. Let's just play it from here. Let's just play it from here. In Emperor's Borough, the opulent villa... I'm sorry, I'm rereading this again. Audrey glanced at the elegantly shaped wall clock and slowly sat down in front of the dressing table despite her nervousness and excitement. She was heading to the home of her psychology teacher, Escalante, and take the key step of becoming an official member of the Psychology Alchemists. Before doing so, she needed time to herself well before praying to Mr. Fool for his help. I should be able to see an angel this time, right? Audrey thought with anticipation. After a few seconds of silence, she clasped her hands together in front of her mouth and nose and softly chanted the honorific name of the fool. In 15 Ming Street, Clang was standing in the living room, looking in the scene which had finally turned quiet inside. To him, the desired pasta only meant danger, but to Stuart and the others, it was to change their lives. I hope it can be settled as soon as possible. With so many Beyonders, with so many sealed artifacts, there must be something effective against the devil pathway. In the midst of his thoughts, Klein suddenly heard a series of illusory pleas. It should be Miss Justice. Having been prepared, he looked around before walking to the bathroom as if nothing had happened. After locking the bathroom, he couldn't help but sigh inwardly. My life has also changed a little. Before the threat of Desire Apostle was eliminated, he had to reduce the times he went above the Great Fog while being secretively protected by the machinery hive mind. Next week, during the Tarot Club, the itinerary must be simplified. However, no matter how compressed it will still take nearly 10 minutes. Well, constipation is a very normal thing. He was in the stall for quite a while. Who says that Beyonders can't be constipated? Being optimistic, Klein took 4 steps counterclockwise and went above the Great Fog. Next, Audrey followed what she had previously taught and set up a simple ritual, entering the artificial sleepwalking state. When Klein saw her blurry figure inside the Crimson Star, he went through the procedure, first using... Put the volume down. First using his spirit body to contain the Dark Emperor card, then picking up the paper figurines he cut with his improvised cutting skills and sending it out. Lords of the Bathroom, tell me about it, dude. Ooh, that was a really bad sneeze. Ugh. I didn't get any boogers on me. We're good, right? Okay, we're good. Woo, that was pretty gross. I can finally send a meme. I finally understood the meme of the ear because I was going through my notes. It was the sealed language item, right? One sec. Hold up. I'll be right back. Let me get G-Fill because I'm falling asleep, man. One sec. Let me bring G-Fill so we can keep reading, so we can stay strong. Language of foulness? Yeah, no, I finally remember the... Thank you. The language of foulness meme. When he throws the ear, I was like, why the fuck are you guys sending me an ear? But then it's like, oh yeah, it's the language of foulness. Like, I get it now. Now let me drink this to wake up. Ah, man. Was good, people? Not much, Salmon. Salmon's Andy Lost Gym Vlog. I like the title. I hope you guys are having a good day, man, by the way. I didn't say that earlier, but I hope you guys are having a good day. All right, let me put this on and let's keep reading. I'm going to try and finish my G... You know, let me just finish it now, because I actually do want to sleep. I actually do want to sleep in early, because I know if I drink it late, it shit keeps me up all night. But now we're wide awake. Okay, let me find my place. I was recommended this on a Gate video. What's a what? Wait, you ever recommended what? A Gate video? Gate. What is that? Oh, to like read Lord of Mysteries? Oh. Alright, well, let's keep reading. That's cool. That's a cool recommendation. Dude, Lord of Mysteries is fucking amazing. I love it. It's such a good series already. But let's keep going. As expected, the paper figurine gathered the power that was being stirred out of the gray fog, turning into a gigantic angel with 12 pairs of black wings. Audrey, watching as scared as the majestic angel descended before her, wrapping herself in its layers of rings, she was left speechless for quite some time. This is an angel, Mr. Fool's angel, and it even has 12 pair of rings, an archangel. This is exactly the same as descriptions in the legends of canon. This is also an angel of our Terror Club. Audrey watched as the angel silhouette rapidly faded away. She suddenly felt that it was exceptionally sweet. She thanked Mr. Fool with joy, excitement, and poiseness. And then she called the maids and told them to get ready for her trip outdoors. Klein smiled and returned to the living room, looking at the bullet holes in the walls and lost himself in thought. Should I hang a cheap oil painting to cover it or replace it and paint over it? And Escalante's house at Hillston Borough, 7th Avenue. Audrey left her maid and bodyguard in the living room and followed the mistress of the house into the activity room with Susie, her huge golden retriever. In an activity room, there were 2 other people waiting. One of them was Hubert Alucard, the psychologist who was introduced... I read that wrong. Oh my goodness. The psychologist who was introduced to her by Lady Norma. The other was Stefan Hamfress, who had organized the previous psychology discussion. At that moment, although it was... I got this. No, I got it. Hold up. I got that. Let me just, hold up. I'm trying to... I can't even find it. Let's do this. For spammers, we made it. That too. Here, I got it. So, this is the same person. I'm gonna see him right away. Missing... The first dude missing and Salmon are the same person. So, let's do this. Hold up, give me 1 second. This is my first time doing this. Let me just kinda... Hold up. This is my first time doing this. I wanna see how this works. I mean, we'll look at it later. Can we talk about the books or what? That's crazy. That's actually wild. How does that even work? Don't worry, I'm back. Oh, you know what's crazy? Permaban? Actually, I don't even know how to permaban. How do I do that? Because I can do... There's report, remove, add as moderator. Hold up. Let me actually look at this because I've never done this before. I don't even know how to do a permaban. I can hide user on this channel. I guess that works too. These user messages will be hidden. Put users. Unhide user. Gapgate. Setting love from New England. 86k seconds. Hold up. Gapgate, I heard. So, joined 2 years ago. So this is pretty easy to find already. So clearly Gapgate, does someone rate us? Probably. But now we know how to work this out. Burger Planet is rating you right now? Who's Burger Planet?
I've never heard of Burger Planet. I think it's just a group of trolls. Probably. I think a group. Not really though. Probably friend group. Yeah, it's probably. That's wild, man. That's crazy. That's so fucking wild. Ban. I don't even know how to do it, but that's cool. Hide user on channel. Yeah, I guess that's pretty much it. Oh, hell yeah. Alright, let's keep reading. Alright, now we know how to do that. Now we know how to do that. Let's keep reading. Found my place? You can come, but don't spam. Yeah, it's kind of wild. Just ban them. Rating is fine. Slurs not so much. Nah. Yeah, that's instant ban. But I mean, it's alright. They already know, like when they join, they literally see in the thing. So I mean, it's an instant ban either way. But here, let's keep reading. I'll look at it right now after then. Let's just keep reading for now. At that moment, although it was already time for the banquet, there was only a single ordinary candle lit in the room. The candle was placed in the middle of the coffee table as this faint yellow flame flickered, dispersing the darkness in the activity room. After greeting each other, Hilbert was slightly brown-skinned that was thanks to the tiny bits of the southern continent blood in him. Glanced at Susie, but he didn't say a word. Audrey smiled apologetically and said, I feel more secure with it around. Susie also looked at Hilbert with innocent eyes. Understandable, please have a seat. Hilbert smiled and sat down on the sofa on the outside of the coffee table. Hampers and Escalante also took their seats. After Audrey had taken her seat, Hilbert lifted the candle wick to brighten it a little. He looked at Audrey through the candlelight. Now answer me honestly, are you sure you want to join the psychology alchemists? Under the illumination of the candlelight, his eyes seemed to be dyed with a hint of gold deep within his pupils. There seems to be another eye, a vertical eye. Audrey's mind suddenly turned adrift for a moment before she regained her senses. She lightly nodded and said yes. Hilbert asked again, will you intentionally hurt the psychology alchemist? His tone carried a strange inducement, as though as long as the person being questioned gave an affirmative answer, they would unwittingly agree and abide by it from the bottom of their hearts. No, Audrey answered very logically. After a few questions, Hilbert, Escalante, and the others heaved a sigh of relief. The former smiled and asked, is there anything else you would like to say? Audrey hesitated for a moment and then displayed some sincerity. I once purchased a spectator formula as a Beyonder gathering. I'm already a spectator. That's so cool. She just reveals it. That Beyonder gathered is called... Wait, what? His tone carried a strange inducement, as though as long person being questioned gave an affirmative answer, they will be unwillingly agreed to buy it from the bottom of their hearts. No, Audrey answered very logically. After a few questions, Hilbert, Escalante, and the others heaved a sigh of relief. The former smiled and asked, is there anything else you would like to say? She just reveals it. Audrey hesitated for a moment and then displayed her sincerely. I once purchased a spectator formula at a Beyonder gathering. I'm already a spectator. The Beyonder gatherings is called the Tarot gathering. Audrey thought to herself... Oh, she thought to herself proudly. I thought she revealed that, bro. Oh my god. Okay, I thought she literally just like verbally said it, but that just happened in her head. Okay, she mentally thought in her head. Oh, it's called the Tarot gathering. Okay, pause. Let's update, and let's keep reading. 418, chapter 418. Message delivered. That's crazy, dude. Has he given up a fridge tour yet? A fridge tour. You know, I remember seeing a video of a dude that had a fridge in his living room years ago. And then after like a year streaming, it was revealed it was just a cardboard cutout of a fridge. And it was such a funny video. It's like, it's not even a real fridge, man. It was fake this whole time. All right, let me find chapter. Let's update this bad boy. And let's keep reading. 418. Bet. We're on 418. I know that clip. Let's see the fridge. Now, you guys remember that? Chat wants a fridge tour, but I'll bring in my giant G Fuel sign and we're like turning into a little fridge. I got you guys. Next time. I got you. All right. Chapter 418 is called The Power of Mind. Let me put this here. Update. Ba-ba-da-boop. Our timestamp is 53 minutes. 17 seconds. Copy and paste. The Power of Mind. Dun, dun, dun. Original meme songs. I wish I can like physically pull the camera to a fridge, but there's no fridge in the vicinity in here. No, we're reading. Yeah, let's keep reading. Oh wait, one sec.
Chapter 418 is called The Power of Mind. Audrey knew that her mind and psyche were being influenced by some kind of beyond her powers. It was only because of the angel plus provided Mr. Fool that she had been able to miraculously be immune to that state. Therefore, she decided to set certain things in motion, not using small secrets to stun her counterparts so as to hide the more crucial matters, in return for obtaining greater trust. Oh wait, before that, username? I got you. Is it okay if I add you as a moderator? Username? It's up to you. I'll leave it up to you. You can just ignore him, Romero. You can just ignore him. It's cool. Let's keep reading though. The reason why she was doing this wasn't because she didn't believe in the angel, but because she felt that she could observe her counterparty just like how they were observing her. Although she had always hidden herself in the dark and pretended to not be considered a beyonder performing in a way which would not arouse suspicion, she was still more willing to take the members of the psychology alchemist seriously. After all, they were professionals and she should only be considered a dabber in the beyonder circle. She lacked experience and wasn't flexible enough. It was very possible that she would expose certain problems from things she had yet to realize. And in that case, she might as well take this opportunity to confess and completely dispel some of the doubts of the psychology alchemist members. She had called the descendant of the angel and its envelopment of her within the wings as a blessing. Upon hearing Audrey's reply, both Escalante and Hamper showed a brief look of surprise. For a moment, they even doubted their own powers. As for Hilbert, he curled the corners of his lips in a faint smile, showing no abnormal reaction. He nodded in satisfaction and gently said, "Your honesty is admirable. Anything else?" Audrey pretended to be in a trance as she shook her head. "This isn't anything else." Hyper thought for a moment before asking for a few more questions. "Which Beyonder gathering did you buy a spectator formula from? Who did you buy it from? Where did you get the ingredients for concocting the potions?" Audrey's eyes darted around slightly as he showed an expression of recalling. "I have to keep the Beyonder gathering secret. I was unable to see the person who sold me the spectator formula looks like, but from the way he speaks, I could determine that he was a believer of the Lord of Storms." Upon hearing that, Hilbert nodded slightly as though he recalled something. Audrey continued, "My spectator potion ingredients were mainly found from my family's vault. The rest were exchanged from my few friends. 2 spectator potions," she added silently. "Most of them were found from her family's vault." Hilbert, Escalante, and Hampers ruminated over the words, momentarily at a loss for words. After a few seconds, Hilbert nodded to Escalante and the Hampers, indicating that he found everything alright. After receiving the same reply from the rest, the gold tinge in his eyes faded and the vertical pupil in his eyes faded rapidly. Hilbert touched the wick of the candles, causing the flame to flicker. In that instance of alternating light and darkness, Audrey discovered the strange power that affected her had suddenly disappeared. She controlled her adrift expression and switched to an appearance of doubt and inquiry. "I didn't expect you to already be a spectator," Hilbert chuckled. "Huh." Audrey showed her surprise and panic at the right moment, knowing what kind of emotional reactions to show in this appropriate situation and knowing in detail what kind of expression and body language to react while the basic skill of a telepathist. Hilbert smiled and said, "There's no need to be nervous. We don't need that. That was the last of our tests. Congratulations, you have passed all the tests. Now you're an official member of the Psychology Alchemists." "All right then." Audrey hesitated. Then she smiled. It felt like a dream. She then stood up, lifted the edges of her skirt, and bowed at Hilbert at the others. She then said with a faint smile, "We're now companions." Escalante and the others immediately stood up and bowed to the beautiful girl of noble stature who was so polite to them. After the two sat down, Hilbert organized his words and said, "Miss Audrey, I'm going to formally explain to you about the situation of the Psychology Alchemists." "All right," Audrey said with a smile. "Just call me by your name." Hilbert nodded. Leaning back, he crossed his right legs and clasped his hands. The original Psychology Alchemists was just a seminar for enthusiasts who all believed that the mind had limitless powers and infinite wonders. Later on, this seminar obtained a treasure map and found the relics left behind by Hermes? Hermes. Like the language or an actual character? "These mods are tyrants. Everyone, let's fight back." Unhinged. Or you're unhinged. Not straight up devil. I bet you my type patrolling now. Unhinged. Low key. A unhinged. Unhinged, you want to be a mod? I got you, bro. I got you. You want to be a mod too? Alright. I got you, Unhinged. Hold up. You've been promoted, Unhinged. Wait, Red. Wait, hold up. You're right. Wait, you're right. Unhit as a mod is dangerous. Hold up. Red Devil? What do you mean? Make me one first? You know what? Red Devil earned it.
Yeah, you're right. He'd been here from the beginning. He'd been asking. Yeah, I did say he'd be next. Wes, bro, just giving mods. Well, I mean, we're good right now. Wait, we're good right now, right? We got Romero and username. We need a backup. Red Devil mod during the double arc. You know what? That's actually kind of funny. You appreciate it just for the stream, Romero? No. Just for the stream. Just for the stream. We'll see how it goes. We'll see how it goes. All right, we'll keep it right now with just username. We'll see how it works out. You let me know if you need backup or not. All right, let's keep reading. Let me find my place. So they meant Hermes as in the language, right? Not individual. Hermes of the language. Audrey asked in excitement. Yes, he was one of the earliest masters of mysticism from the human race, and the language of ancient Hermes that he created resonated with the power of nature. He was active during the Dark Second Epoch. Back then, humans were the only servants and slaves of giants. Hilbert said with the utmost reverence. He then let out a soft sigh. The original members of the psychology alchemists found a lot of things from the ruins. They discovered that Hermes was a mysticism master in the fields of minds. His research target was the dragons that ruled the sky during the Second Epoch, to be precise, the Dragon of Minds. Yeah, I remember that. The information he left behind shows that the Mind Dragons have advanced far into the field and have achieved the same level of achievement as deities. I've been under the assumption that only humans reach godhood. Like, they reach sequence 0, right? So, for all we know, like, a dragon could, like, reach godhood. Like, I forgot, like, whatever remaining dragon of the mind, they can reach sequence 0, and then they can be their own god. So, I've always assumed it'd only be humans, but now I'm under the assumption that, like, ancient gods, for example, can be. Wait, no, what? Really? Bro, the ancient gods were all non-humans? No, that was never confirmed. We always assumed ancient gods were like, like mystical beings. But then we found out in Volume 2, when you reach sequence 0, you reach godhood, right? So I'm like, from my assumption, I'm under the idea and premise that all current gods, evil gods, ancient gods, like anybody with the title of a god was originally a human that became a sequence 0 beyonder. But now I'm over here like, oh, maybe a dragon, or like maybe like any other creature could be one too. But we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. Let's keep reading. He let out a sigh. The original members of the psychology alchemists found a lot of things from the ruins. They discovered that Hermes was a mysticism master in the field of the mind. Oh, it is a person. His research target was the dragons that ruled the sky during the Second Epoch, to be precise, the dragons of the mind. The information he left behind shows that mind dragons had advanced far into the field and have achieved the same level of achievements as deities. Okay, let's keep reading from right here. I know the dragon of imagination, Engelwilt, was an ancient god. Audrey thought quite complacency. Hybrid sighed and said, those material laid the foundation and direction for the research of our psychology alchemists. We believe that the mind has many secrets and that every one of them is hidden somewhere deep and difficult to grasp. Forgive me for using the adjective deep, which seems to be the most appropriate term to me. The slightest mistake in the study of those secrets would cause irreversible harm to the body. Audrey, you have to remember that the matters in the aspect needs to be done carefully. After Audrey nodded, he continued, if we can unravel the secrets of the mind, then we can, on the other hand, unearth the powers hidden deep in one's consciousness and accomplish many miraculous deeds, and others on the hand. We can influence or even control the minds of others. After reaching this level, what lies ahead in the sea of gathering collective subconsciousness, which is the place we took forward to the most. Of course, the description of a collective subconsciousness isn't accurate enough. I prefer to call it the mind world of all living beings. It has a veiled and miraculous connection to the spirit world. If one can master this mind world, what kind of beyond powers would we obtain? Audrey showed her curiosity at the right moment and her lack of knowledge in this area. Hilbert smiled and said, you should have noticed something of this wonderful phenomenon in the real world. When we wish to receive something, it will happen to appear. When we want to visit a friend, it will happen to knock on a door. And when we desire something to happen, it begins at the exact moment. What? What? What are you guys talking about? What is that? You might say it's a coincidence. You might say it's a coincidence, but sometimes there are too many coincidences. Our research shows that many of these coincidences are caused by an unconscious magical influence of the mind. When you master the mind world, which is also the sea of that gathers the collective subconscious, then you will master coincidences.
I am so confused. When you master the mind world, which is also the seed that gathers the collective subconscious, then you will master coincidences, creating magical phenomena that make chance appearances as an echo of your mind. It will appear as you wish. This is too amazing. Audrey had heard the son mention the Dragon of Nightmare before, but description was far less detailed than Hilbert's. Hilbert chuckled and said, at our level, it's better not to discuss such a deep and profound question. If we do, we'll easily lose ourselves. I'll continue introducing psychology alchemists. The discovery of the ruins marked the establishment of organization. The members at the beginning wanted to maintain a state of pure academic discussion, but they would always need help when encountering matters. Similarly, they lack items and research materials. That's why psychology alchemists slowly become systematic and transform into a real secret organization. However, compared to other organizations, our structures and relationships are still relatively loose. That's what I like about it. Audrey expressed her opinion. Hilbert explained the main rules and regulations before finally concluding. When you reach a higher rank, you'll be able to meet the other members. I'll now give you the Sequence 8 Telepathist Potion. They did prepare a Telepathist Potion as expected. Audrey was both glad and proud. After seeing the lustrous potion, she hesitated and said, I wish to consume it after I get back. She still doesn't trust us, and she wishes to make confirmation. Hilbert read Audrey's thoughts and replied with a smile. Okay. Well, with your performance, drinking the Telepathist Potion shouldn't be a problem. Audrey beamed and thanked him before asking a probing question. Can you give me the potion formula to psychiatrists? I wish to seek out and gather the ingredients ahead of time so that I don't waste any time. And it switched to boss music. Coincidences? I think not, bro. When other people join the psychology alchemist, other than hoping to get a formula, don't they hope to apply for the corresponding beyonder ingredients? Who says in such a carefree manner and talk about trying to gather them ahead of time? Hilbert, Hampus, and Escalante were speechless for a while as they looked at the girl who spoke of such things with a normal tone. A few seconds later, Hilbert forced out a smile. I hope you make the application. Normally, this would require contribution points, and contribution points come from missions we assign to you. The research contributions you make and new information and materials you gather. Okay, I'll do my best, Audrey said briskly. She remained silent after leaving Escalante's house, but only until she entered her room and sent Annie and the others away that she turned to the huge golden retriever and smiled. Sissy, we got a promotion. Music? Sound music? I mean, we'll put this one. Music quiet? Music loud. Music quiet or loud? You know what? Let me turn it down right here. It looks good right here. It's a pity that the rainbow sound umbrella that Alfred found for me couldn't be used. It can only be exchanged for money. Audrey sighed emotionally in her heart. Susie looked at the bottom containing the Telepathist Potion and wagged her tail cheerfully. Audrey, oh look, we're almost done. Well, hold up. Either way, we're almost done with the chapter right here. Audrey had hung a pair of gold-rimmed glasses around her neck just as she left. Hillstonborough in Eisenard Stanton's house. Klein had been invited for breakfast apart from him because Lana was invited as well. After eating a mouthful of soft potato pie, Klein praised, Mr. Stanton, your cooking skills are excellent. Isengard, who had gray hair at his temple, smiled and said, it's a specialty of Lindbergh and to the Beyonders of the Church of God of Knowledge and Wisdom. Being multi-talented is a common trait. Sequence 6 reveal. It's a Sequence 6 is called polymath. It's easy for people to lose control for the corresponding potion. Until now, I still don't have the confidence to make the advancement attempt. The spider's back. You mean... I understood that reference Unhinged. Alright. 1, 2, 3, 4. Have we been live for 2 hours? I still got like 30 minutes before we end stream. Why were you guys saying MCF? What did you guys mean by that? I didn't know what you guys meant by that. MCF? One sec. Let's do this. Yeah, I think we're good. And Dono unhinged. I don't know unhinged at it. Oh. And you guys just kept repeating it? Okay. I just continued saying it as a bit? Okay. I was like, what the fuck is that? Like, was there a reveal that I just didn't fucking catch? That was pretty funny. I was like, what the fuck did I miss? Unhinged just got nuked? Imagine. Oh, wait. Oh, shit. My bad. My bad. Hold up. That was an accident. Unhide. That was actually an accident. My bad. My bad. I was going through the other ones you guys timed out. Accident. Accident. That was an accident. You good? Unhinged? Rip? No, that was an accident. 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 No, we're good. We undid it. We undid it. I just he got back. He back. We're good. We're good. I was just going to the ones you guys timed out. So did I accidentally time out somebody that just did a spoiler? Easy got so scared by Spider he accidentally banned Unhinged. That's literally what happened. I was trying to go through the people you guys timed out just to like hide them or whatever. And I think I clicked on Unhinged because I literally read your comment. The spider's back? Or yeah, I literally read your comment as I was trying to like mute the others. Let's keep reading. We still got like 30 minutes before we end stream because we are running out of memory. Every time put in mountain counts on Discord if you want to check. Every time out was put in mod counts on Discord if you want to check it out. Oh, okay. Thank you. Thank you, D. That's actually a lot easier. I didn't think about that. Okay, thank you. Wow, you guys were like one step ahead of me. Okay, for sure. Let's keep doing this. Chapter 419 is called Wishing. By the way, if that ever happens again, just ignore them. You don't give them what they want, Romero. Don't cuss them out, Romero. Do you know what MCF is? Or like just D or like using like don't worry about it. Just like we'll just ignore them and time them out. It's cool. We're chilling. All right, chapter 419. No? I don't know either. Let's do this. We are 1 hour, 5 minutes, 27 seconds. Copy, paste. Good right here. I'll explain on Discord. I guess I can't know what that means yet. Hold up. By the way, let me put the volume down on my end in the meantime. Let's do this. Just so it's not too loud, at least for me. All right, look at that. We're about to hit 420. We're a day behind, but we're about to hit 420. All right, chapter 419 is called Wishing. Polymath. This sequence sounds strong just from its name. The reader pathway sequence 7 is called Knowledge Keeper or Detective. It's a job that leans towards grasping knowledge and deduction. At most, it would be accompanied by decent combat techniques and the ability to use machinery, so it can be considered powerful. But a sequence 6, there seems to be sudden qualitative change, especially more so in the field of Beyonder combat. From the looks of it, each Beyonder pathway has its own critical point below the high sequences, but it's fixed at a particular sequence. For example, the Seer pathway's critical point is Magician. Client, oh, that is a critical point. For example, the Seer's pathway critical point is Magician. Klein drank a mouthful of hot tea and didn't try probing on the secrets to others. The music is so low. Oh, the song ended, that's why. And I lost my place. Klein drank a mouthful of hot coffee and didn't try probing on the secrets to other sequences. Instead, he smiled and said, Mr. Stanton, you seem to be quite relaxed. You're not nervous or worried at all. Eisenard didn't answer immediately. He put down his knife and fork, took out his pipe, and said, you don't mind, right? Actually, I do, but the poly what? I was thinking of polymorph, like the ability. But the pollution and smog in Backland is already so bad that a few more puffs of secondhand smoke won't make it any worse. Klein shook his head and smiled. 1,000 cubic feet of natural gas. MC, got it. This aids in your thinking. More accurately, it's a habit that I have after breakfast every day. Done with his pipe, Isengard took a deep breath. As the smoke was exhaled, he sighed and said, fear, nervousness, and worry doesn't help us face the threat. In that case, why not take it a little easier? The brain will become more active because of this. My assistant easily got worried, which led to his fatal disaster. Sigh. Isengard glanced at Kazlan and continued. Furthermore, our opponent is a desire apostle. We have to refrain from having intense emotions. Having said that, he chuckled. More importantly, we have no other means of locating the desire apostle. What do we do? Kazlana put down the last piece of bacon and asked seriously. Isengard took a drag and said in a self-deprecating manner, when discussing topics like this, I prefer reclining chairs. Apart from being able to sense danger, devils aren't good at divination or premonition. Therefore, if a desire apostle wishes to figure out the main revenge target, he would need to actively investigate and gather information. Otherwise, how would he know which group of private detectives have made considerable contributions to the serial murderer? Murder. How was he able to precisely pinpoint you and me? In such a process, he definitely would have interacted with many people. Even in disguise, he's bound to leave some clues. In addition to the rough image given by the machinery hive mind, this will form clues. Similarly, if he wanted to attack me, then he has to find out where I live, what are my entry and exit patterns, as well as when I work or rest. He also needs to know if there are powerful or official beyonders protecting me. This requires a considerable observation period and corresponding inquiries, and similarly, this means interacting with others and certain locations. Once there are interactions, there will be clues. I like the maxim: wherever he steps, whatever he touches, whatever he leaves, even unconsciously, will serve as a silent witness against him. I know that sentence. It was said by Emperor Rizzo. Klein smiled soon after. He felt a little despondent because this was the second time he heard someone mention this maxim in this world. The last time it happened was when he was in Tinkin. Kozlana, whose cheeks were drooping, sighed. As expected of a great detective, I never thought about such things. I admire your observation and reasoning skills. Eisenard responded with a smile. Everyone has their own areas of expertise. If it's just fighting, then I would be defeated by you again and again. Sherlock must have also thought of things I just said. He also has outstanding observation and reasoning skills, and he's an outstanding detective. Actually, I felt a little ashamed when you were speaking so confidently earlier. Klein squeezed out a smile. No, you're a true detective, and I'm still a long way off. You really are a modest young man, Eisenard sighed. He smiled and said, next up, we'll proceed by taking those points in mind. You have to use your own resources and information channels. Aside from the Terror Club, a third of my resources and information channels in Buckland are from you. My good old man. Klein forced a smile and replied, all right. Apart from the Beyond the Gatherings, help of the Eye of Wisdom, the only people who could seek help from were Merrick, Miss Sharon, Vampire Emlyn White, and Father Uchowski. With the machinery hive mind secretly protecting me, I'll have to eliminate Miss Sharon and Merrick. Oh yeah, because you can't put him in danger. I can visit Emlyn the vampire, and he's now a half-believer of Mother Earth, and is under the protection of Bishop Uchowski. He would have encountered any danger from the official Beyonders. Klein instantly decided on the direction to take. Kozlana remained silent for a few seconds before replying, no problem. Klein wiped the remaining cream onto the last bit of toast, chewed and swallowed in a leisurely pace before asking, Mr. Sandin, you previously mentioned the activation of a particular sealed artifact. Will it be able to help us deal with the desired apostle? Yes, it played a critical role in finding and surrounding the Devil Dog back then. Eisenard replied frankly. Its code name is 142? This is the first official grade 1 artifact in all of the series, and it took over 400 chapters. Its code name is 142. 142. A grade 1 sealed artifact is highly dangerous and can only be used in limited ways. Even in Backlad, Diocese can only keep 1 or 2 items. A corresponding description flashed across Klein's mind, and he asked with a great interest, what is it? What abilities or negative effects does it have? Eisenard laughed and said, this is the secret of the Church of the Evernight Goddess? Let's go. I do not know, and I only know that it was originally not in Backland. It was rushed here as an emergency because of the serial murderers. It is said that it's a full body armor which is silver in color with dark red bloodstains. It's full body armor? It is said that it's a full body armor which is silver in color with dark red bloodstains. It won cause of destruction of a small city and over 100,000 people died because of it. This sounds like we can do the same with creeping hunger, right? If it's a glove, right? For all we know, if we get all the pieces like creeping hunger can like attach to, we can make like our own strong sealed artifact, right? It is said that it's a full body armor which is silver in color. Let me read this part. With silver in color with dark red bloodstains, it's once caused the destruction of a small city and over 100,000 people died in it. That's why I'm still on that theory that the creeping hunger is a piece of like Def's original like body or like his original armor. Because if there's a sealed artifact as a full body armor, I'm locking in that theory on Def. Cursed, and it's called Cursed Armor. Cursed Armor, Klein asked in return by giving it a name. Eisenard spewed a mouthful of smoke and shook his head in seriousness. Perhaps it isn't cursed. Some people call it Berserker Armor. I understood that reference. Creeping Hunger. Just so, like, this is called the Berserker Armor. There's probably like a Def Armor. And Creeping Hunger is one part of that piece. Or Bloodthirster's Armor. My church once guessed that the blood is stained comes from a deity from ancient times. When it was first discovered, it appeared to be nothing out of the ordinary. It was treated as a simple antique, sold and collected by others. But as time passed, those who came in contact with it died, just like creeping hunger. It needs a soul, right? Like creeping hunger needs a soul every other day? Come on, bro. It's so on the nose, Cuttlefish. We know what he's doing. It was extremely terrifying. But as time passed, those who came into contact with it died, one after another. It was an extremely terrifying death, nearly to the point of dismemberment, and after that, when it was the center, death spread outwards. There was no longer any need for contact, and as such, a small city was destroyed. This happened early in the 5th epoch. The Nighthawks were responsible for the aftermath. As expected of a Beyonder from the Church of the God of Knowledge and Wisdom, he knows enough history and Beyonder events. Klein secretly praised. Kazlana asked, sounding a little worried. Will it bring this danger? The Church of the Evernight Goddess definitely found the right way of sealing it. But for us, it's best if we avoid contact as much as possible. Eisenard said, half as consolement and half as a warning. After breakfast, he and Klein went into the activity room where the fight had taken place. Kazlana first headed to the bathroom. Looking at her back, Klein thoughtfully said, she seems to be on her from the arbiter pathway. Your observation skills are indeed outstanding. Eisenard sat down in the reclining chair. As Klein walked to the sofa, he whispered in confusion, this pathway is strictly controlled by the royal family, the military, and the ancient nobles. Very few formulas and ingredients appear in the outside world. Kazlana had such a backing. Isengard smiled. I lost my place. Isengard smiled and said, quite obviously. However, even to the point she hasn't taken the initiative to mention the relevant matters, this implies that there really is a reason that makes someone inconvenient for her to mention it. He looked at Klein with a smile in his eyes, as if to say, aren't you the same as well? Klein laughed dryly and sat down. After a while, Kazlana came to the activity room and continued discussing the matter regarding the Desire Apostle with Klein and Isengard. As she was speaking, her expression suddenly became gloomy, and she sighed. I was pulled into the most dangerous case this time. I have no idea if I'll survive this at the end. If I were to be killed by the Desire Apostle, I wish to have this on my tombstone. She had a great mother. Kazlana's voice gradually lowered as her difficult to get along with personality seemed to be softened. Isengard shared the same sentiments and nodded. Similarly, he's the most dangerous enemy I've encountered. He then laughed and said, if I die because of this and both of you are still alive, would you be willing to help me deliver my remains to the Holy Temple of Knowledge in Lundberg? Stop raising death flags. Klein's mouth was half open and he didn't know how to stop the two detectives in front of him. No problem, but I hope this day will never come. He tried his best to dispel the thought. Isengard glanced at him and asked curiously, Sherlock, what about you? If you were killed by the Desire Apostle, what wish do you have that you hope others can fulfill for you? Revive me. Klein sighed and said, I hope that I can be buried in a cemetery with good scenery. It's best if my corpse is intact and is sprinkled with holy water and fresh flowers. The core meaning of his words was, do not cremate me. The three of them fell silent for a while until they heard the tinkling sounds of the doorbell. The visitor was a deckhand named Eisenard Bernard from the machinery hive mind. His hair was stubbornly squeezing out from the brim of his hat, giving his deep masculine outline an indescribably messy feeling. This time he was holding the silver mirror named Rhodes. It was unknown where he had put it. If I have a chance, I wouldn't mind using the magic mirror to see how many loyal and humble servants would react. Klein thought. Eisenard didn't enter. He stood there looking at the detective trio. He then quickly said in a deep voice, there's a clue to the Desire Apostle. Bet. Oh shit, the fuck? Next chapter is called Devil Family, bro. Damn. Alright. It's starting to ramp up. Alright. Volume 2, dude. So we're gonna fight like a devil family. And then we got whatever's going on with Amon, the shepherd back in the city of Silver. And now this? All right, let's keep reading, man. Update? Bet. Let's update and let's keep reading. Wait, what time is it? We got time for one more chapter. Bro just wants his body to be intact so he can come back again. That's literally it. All right, we got time for one more chapter, so we're going to finish strong. Let's read 420 Devil Family, and then we're going to wrap it up. And by the way, you know how so I hit them from the channel. Does that mean they're banned or not? Because I know on like, for at least when people stream on Twitch, you can just like perma-banned, right? But I guess on YouTube, technically, you're just hiding them. Like, they see their own messages, but they don't pop up in chat. That's how it is, right? 420? We're a day late. We're a day late to chapter 420, but let's finish strong. 1 hour, 17 minutes. and 05 seconds. Alright, chapter 420 is called Devil Family. Copy, paste. 420. We're gonna finish strong. We should have been reading this chapter yesterday. I apologize for not reading it yesterday. I ended up watching a movie with Miss Easy Geeky. Heck of a day. It is a day. If I die, I want to be taxidermized and strung up in the woods to scare hikers. That's kind of scary, Unhinged. They can watch, like and dislike, but they can't comment or make clips. Ah, Guido, thank you. I didn't know that. They don't type. If not, it will show this user has been timed out by... Oh, at least I think. Okay. Because at least when I hit hidden, it says like... Messages will be visible to them, but not to chat. That's all I saw. Yeah. Just like Unhinged, I accidentally hit him. Alright, but let's keep reading. Let's finish strong. Let's read one more chapter. And let's end with a bang. And read 420. Alright. Beautiful. Alright, so this is going to be the last chapter of the day. Chapter 420 is called Devil Family. We should have read this chapter yesterday, so I apologize for that. We're a day late. Well, here it is. Chapter 420 is called Devil Family. What was that? People who have mod just see by who the person timed out was timed. People who have mod just see by who the person timed out was timed. Oh, okay. So, okay. I get it. All right, let's keep reading though. Westboro 6 Edward Street. Eigenster Bernard pressed down on his black hat, pointed to the door behind the fountain, and said to Klein, Eisenard, and Kozlana, we have reverse investigated the various information channels for any leaks of news information, combined with the outline of their side profile as well. Why does he say it twice? Someone taxidermize your internet. Combined with the outline of their side profile as well as getting the help of Magic Mirror, we managed to have a preliminary suspect. You obviously paused for a moment when you mentioned the Magic Mirror. I wonder what price you paid to get the answer you wanted. Klein sensed the problem in Eikenster's tone and felt a baffling hint of sympathy for him. It's the owner of the house. Kozlana returned with a question sounding almost certain. Eisenard Stanton looked around and said, as if pondering, you chose to inform us directly because you found another piece of evidence. Yes, the portrait of the house's owner proves some of it. He never takes photographs. Eikenster answered frankly. Besides, the people around here have seen a big black dog in the neighborhood many times in the past. This can basically prove that the suspect and Desire Apostle have said this. Eisenard couldn't help but laugh. Sorry, we were too anxious and didn't give you a chance to introduce the suspect. As he walked around the fountain and towards the front door of the house, Eikenster quickly said, the owner of this house is Patrick Jason, the principal shareholder of a small bank. According to the description from his neighbors, he's a cheerful, enthusiastic, and optimistic middle-aged man who has remained a bachelor but is believed to have had several mistresses. At this level of wealth, the number of servants he hires is utterly inadequate. Every time a banquet or ball is held, he would need to hire a batch of temporary attendants from the city family Servant Assistance Association. In regards to this, his explanation is due to a problem of insomnia. Too many servants will affect the silence he needs. I can tell that he has many secrets which need hiding, so he doesn't dare hire too many servants. Eisenard said half-jokingly. Klein, who didn't hire a single servant, said someone guilty, perhaps simply because his finances aren't as good as others thinks. Yes, that's a factor that cannot be ruled out. Eisenard stepped out of the porch and came in front of the main door. Eikenster looked at Klein and said as if in enlightenment, you don't hire servants and only have your landlord's maid do temporary cleaning twice a week. Is it to conceal the secret that you're a beyonder? Of all my secrets, this is the most trivial one. Klein deliberately smiled bitterly and said yes. As he spoke, Eikenster pushed open the front door and an indescribable stench drifted out. The smell of decay. Eisenard made a judgment in an instant. Eikenster called of a machinery hive mind team member. Carlson, any discoveries? The Beyonder Carson wore thick glasses and had a complicated expression on his face. We found a lot of bodies here, and the cement in the basement and the thick walls and the Ugh. Really? And the cement in the basement and the thick walls and the places where the garden is overgrown with weeds. One hidden corpse after another was found. The earliest could be from more than a decade ago, and the latest are the servants who were still alive a few days ago. Some of them are just bones, some slightly rotten. Decon, this place is like a human slaughterhouse. As he spoke, the machinery hive mind members carefully selected the police officers behind him carried out this corpse after another. Some of the corpses were dismembered tongues, fingers, stomach bags, eyes, etc. were all lying in disarray. Some of the corpses were all bones. It looked like many of the backland disappearance cases will be solved because of this. Eisenard stand and pinched his nose inside. When Klein saw an intestine which was almost dragged across the ground, he exhaled and turned to look around the house. Machinery hive mind member Carlson muttered again. Jason paid his servants very high wages and gave them a lot of holidays. The servants living around him were all very envious. Jason's cook even promised his children that he would be home this week and take him to the circus to watch a performance. A true devil, because Lana was slightly perturbed. Damn. Can't be a coincidence? Wait, with what? Looking around, Klein restrained his emotions and solemnly asked, why are the furnishings of the house so simple and crude? As a banker, even the bank he owns isn't big. Jason should have had expensive porcelain, excellent paintings, luxurious wall clocks, and all sorts of items made of high-quality silk. Why can't we see any of that here? Well, the wood for his furniture is still pretty good. Carson glanced at the decon Eikenser, and after receiving an assenting nod, he said it's clear that Jason had planned this revenge for a long time. He sold the valuable but inconspicuous items in his house, and he had even agreed to the Variant Bank's purchase of his estate. After killing his servants, he sped up his liquidation and sold the oil paintings and other items. He appeared to be certain that he would definitely be found, and he didn't have any thoughts of getting lucky. Before taking action, all he left was his house, furniture, and identity. It's unknown where he had moved large quantities of cash, precious metals, and jewelry to. After listening to Carson's description, Klein suddenly thought of a few adjectives: calm, rational, crazy. A true devil, Eisenard evaluated before sharing his deductions. He is clear-headed and calm in his actions, but he has a strong, crazy tendency and spirit of adventure, which is characteristic of the past two deeds. Therefore, we have to be wary of him taking risks. Klein grasped the gist of the detective Stanson's words. Yes, Eisenard gravely nodded. Next, the few detectives searched the house and found a lot of evidence to prove that Patrick Jason was problematic. They also saw the portrait hanging in the activity room. It depicted a middle-aged man with all the cheekbones and blue eyes, with a tiny of gray, ordinary facial features and neatly combed hair. He didn't have any special features. At that moment, Eikenser came in and said to Klein and the others, we found some items in a secret chamber that confirm that Jason Patrick had attempted to summon an even more powerful devil, but for some reason he didn't succeed. And those items had confirmed his identity. He's a member of the devil family known as what? Beria. His real name should be Jason Beria. The Beria family. Klein nodded. We've never heard of this family, right? Last one, I think. Don't update. This is a new family, right? The devil family, Beria. Okay, this is a new family. This isn't like we have. I remember all the ancient families. Really? Audrey and Lord Discord? Thank you, Romero. I knew that. We'll go through it together. The Beria family. Klein nodded unsurprised. In the ancient... Oh, right here. In the ancient fourth epoch. Oh, wait, hold up. It says blood. The human faction that worshipped the devil's form a sacred alliance known as the Blood Sanctity Sect. This organization was eternally divided quite drastically. The three great devil families of Noes, Andaria, and Beria were a tripartite. A what? They were a tripartite balance of forces. Their ancestors once received the bestowment of the Abyss, and they worshipped an evil god by the name Dark Side of the Universe? Okay, that is new. They believe that he is the ruler of the Abyss and that he is the devastator of the world who would corrupt and degenerate the real world's entire universe. Isengard introduced to the unfiltered Beyonders Kazlana and Klein. Bro, that sounds scary. An alliance of three devil families? No, that's not good, bro. Motherfuckers are forming like their own Triforce, but like an evil Triforce. Eikenser shook his head and added, if a deeply divided organization doesn't eventually split, integration and unification are inevitable trends. Various situations and rumors indicate that Beria and Dario families have gradually weakened since at least 1,000 years ago, to the point of becoming vassals of the Noise family in recent decades. Well, the Beria family symbol is the abstract symbol combination of a pentagram and goat horns. Regardless, the Berea family is still an extremely ancient family with deep roots. It's no wonder Jason was able to raise a devil dog. Sigh, that's just one of the reasons. Another reason is that he owns a bank? What does that have to do with that? He owns a bank, even if it wasn't big. In the second epoch, the ancient god that corresponds to the dark side of the universe is Devil Monarch. Far Buwati. Is there any connection between the two? Klein signed while feeling curious. After much searching, the 3 detectives and the Machinery Hive Mind members could only confirm that Jason Patrick was the Desire Apostle, but they were unable to find the man's current location. On the pretext of getting help from others, Klein took a handkerchief that Jason had used during the devil summoning ritual, with plans of finding a chance to divine above the Grey Fog. After all, Jason had dealt with the items he often came in contact with. Shortly after, Eisenard came to them and said with a heavy expression, the Nighthawks will be bringing the sealed artifact here. We will be making a move first. Alright, Eisenard and Kozlana answered at the same time. As for Klein, he had long since raised his hands and feet in approval inwardly. After exiting Jason's villa, which occupied a large area, Klein looked back at his expression and gradually turned grim. He said doubtfully, I think there's a problem. What problem? Kozlana hurriedly asked. Klein deliberately said he sold the bank, his businesses, and many valuable items ahead of time. That means that Jason is prepared to give up his current identity and life. If his move is solely to seek revenge of the devil dog, it's not sufficient to initiate such a series of actions. Maybe he had a very deep relationship with that devil dog. Sherlock, you might not think so, but I've seen people who treat pets as family. That's me. Kozlana said in disagreement, I treat my Ellie like she's my daughter. She is my family. She's my blood. She's my family. Eisenard, who was standing beside them, solemnly said, no, Sherlock is quite right. Kozlana, do you know what the ancient name of the Devil's Pathway Sequence 8 is? Kozlana revealed a look of contemplation. She had apparently heard of it, but she couldn't immediately recall it. At that moment, Klein answered for her in a low voice. Cold-blooded. Unholy Trinity, so to say. Was this revealed or not? Was it? I think it was revealed. Cold-blooded. As she muttered over the name, she suddenly understood why the 2 great detectives, Moriarty and Stanton, would say so. Seeing her reaction, Klein pointed in another direction. Let's split up and begin with our own information channels. After receiving an affirmative response from Eisenard and Kozlana, he left in a hurry. However, he didn't rush south of the bridge to find Emlyn White. He wanted to head to Chisok police station and retrieve the £5 he posted as bail. He had already been proven to be without problems. Both Eisenard Stein and the official beyonders had given their respective testimonies. There was so much lore in that chapter alone, bro. One sec, let me update this quickly. Hold up, let's we gotta do overall thoughts. We're gonna end it there, since I can't record for too long because we're kind of out of memory. I have to put everything, I have to transfer everything and make more space. So we're gonna stop our read through there. Just since I like to keep everything up as a VOD rather than like a lengthy live stream. That way it's easier, you know, to digest. But let's do overall thoughts right here. Let me do my overall thoughts. And then let's end the recording, but we'll keep the live stream going for a few more minutes. But let's do this. So, Dark Side of the Universe was revealed in Volume 1. No, it wasn't. I never added that in my loads, Beck. Are you kidding me? Really? I do not remember... Did I just not add that in my notes? I guess I missed that. I know they talk about the Abyss, right? So thoughts on the Devil Pathway? Guess we have reached the dark side of the stream. Very coincidentally, we reached the dark side of the stream when we get the reveal of the dark side of the universe. Was like the name a lot in Volume 1? I don't remember it. Maybe I did write it down. It was. We even know the sequence 0 for Devil Pathway. We do. Wait, no we don't. When? Wait, hold up. Really? Okay, hold up. Before we continue, I was kind of out of it today because of that whole scenario that happened earlier. So the middle of this read through kind of is a little bit of a blur. I kind of forgot since we were focusing a lot on what happened and trying to get that sorted out, that I kind of missed some of the lore. It's inferred by Klein. Oh wait, so it was inferred by Klein. Thank you, Soul. Yeah, bruh? What do you mean, bruh? Sequence 0. Oh, you're right. They did say Diablo. Yeah, you're right. I remember Diablo. I did not write that on. So, Sun did call it the Abyss Pathway, and Klein knows Sun is 0. I completely forgot about that. I don't think I ever noted that in my notes. The fuck is Diablo? It's a good game. Yeah, I played it. It's a fun casual game. Play on the side. Bruh, Unhinged gonna get crucified one day. I don't even know what happened. It's Abyss. Well, I remember in Rozel's diary entries, he'll be like, "Oh, and now we go to the Abyss." And Romero, and Klein was like, "What does that even mean?" Right? Or nah? Wait, Unhinged, you literally got me. Wasn't the word Diablo was mentioned? I'm thinking of a devil. Unhinged, man, you got me. The game Elon Musk says he plays. Did you see what Ubisoft had such a funny quote retweet? Like, is that like well, I forgot what it was, but yeah, we gotta send Unhinged. Diablo was never mentioned. Man, Unhinged actually got me. I believed him. I was very gullible right there. I lied. You gotta stop trusting. Whew. We almost gave him mod. we dodged a bullet right there, right, guys? No, I'm fucking kidding. Nah, we love you, Unhinged. That was funny. Nah, you got me. That was a pretty good one. All right, but I like it. We've gotten a lot of lore. We found out like the 3 devil families. They literally make a trinity of devil. It's like a devil triforce. Now it's like the abyss of the universe, or what was it? The dark side of the universe? Oh my god. I'm scared, man. I'm really scared for how Volume 2 ends. In my mind, I was thinking the Devil Dog Master was gonna be the finale, but seeing all this setup, it makes me think we're gonna take him out before we get to the finale. Just like how we were kind of like, we thought we thought the Volume 1 finale was gonna be one villain, and then it ended up being Magoose, right? Easy Danger Premonition. My Danger Premonition is kicking in. We think the Devil Dog Master is gonna be the final boss, like this whole Devil family, but I feel like the Devil family is just gonna be a front for whatever their true intention is, and maybe like the dark side of the abyss spawn might wanna come out. I don't know. You won't see the ending coming? I know I'm not gonna see it coming. And I know for a fact it's not gonna be this Devil Dog family. The Devil Dog family is just building anticipation, and Cuttlefish is making you think that's where we're gonna go, when in fact that's not where we're gonna go. Volume 1 villain spawn of Evil God 2 villain dog. It's not gonna be the dog. We thought, well, I mean, the dog, like I originally thought Magoose. You know what I mean though. All right, but we're gonna end it there. We'll be back tomorrow for more Lord of Mysteries. So if you like what you see and you want to see more, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and we are almost at 2,000 subscribers. Bruh, Red Devil, White Spoil. I don't even know what he said. No, he's trolling. No. Like he's agreeing with me. That's what I said. Beck and me, clown to clown communication. Like I'm over here was like the spawn. Like I think it's gonna like all relate back to that whole family. Yeah, even the Diablo isn't sequence 0 name. It is a sequence 1 name. Ah, you're right, Unhinged. Yeah, you're right. All right. You're right. You caught me there. All right, but I'm gonna let you guys go. Have a beautiful day or night, and I will see you all tomorrow. Peace. Have a good day. All right, hold up. We're still live on YouTube since OBS crashed. Can't I just permaban him? No, we're good. We can permaban the others, but I guess we can only mute. Not trust. Susie loses control and becomes a real antagonist. Bro, that would imagine. And then Susie becomes like she becomes like, imagine Susie was like the creator this entire time. Crucify him, idea. Susie was the true creator all along. She was truly spectating in the shadows on a different pathway. All right, but we're gonna hold up before we end stream. Let me check my memory. Let me see how fast I'm gonna need to sort my memory space out. We're at 100 gigs left. Oh yeah, we're at the end. Unhinged is our only troll for Elo Team stream who's funny. Let him stay, not gonna lie. Yeah, of course, we love him. We love him, York. He's a good troll. He's a good troll. The others were bad trolls, but we'll leave it there. So, for the future, if that ever happens again, this is what we gotta do. We also gotta mention the Discord. Whenever trolling like that happens, you don't even acknowledge it, right? Congratulations on 1.82, dude. That's exciting. But remember, you never cave in. You never acknowledge the trolls. You ignore it. We mute it, and we move on. We just ignore them, and we pretend they're not there, and we have a beautiful day. We'll talk about it in the Discord right now, but we'll leave it there. I love you guys. Have a beautiful day. I'm gonna end stream. Sorry it's only 2 hours today. 100 gigs, so much for me, bro. I mean, I had like I have like a 2 terabyte hard drive and a 2 terabyte SSD, and they're both at like 100 gigs left. Just games are so big, bro. Did you do an outro? Yeah, we did. We did an outro. Adieu. Message retracted. I don't know what Alex said, but it's okay. No, you're good. All right, guys, I'm gonna let you go there. I'm gonna start uploading the video, and I'm gonna try and sort out my memory space issue. I have like 5 gigs in my hard drive. Not only that, man, when that Oblivion, hold up, the Oblivion remaster drops tomorrow. It's gonna shadow drop. I'm not gonna lie, I might play it on stream, but it literally shadows drop the same day as the Cherry Blossom Festival and Monster Hunter Wilds. Easy unmod me. Oh, I got you. I got you. Username. It's okay. Yeah. So if we ever need you back, or we ever need any more, if we ever need more troopers in the front lines, I got you. All right. But we'll leave it there. You guys have a beautiful day. Okay. And then mod me. It's a remake, not yeah. It's hold up before I end stream. I literally said I'm gonna end it up. It's weird that they're calling it a remaster, not a remake. I think the reason they're calling it a remaster is the gameplay is still gonna be the same. It's still gonna be like the same 5 voice actors in the whole game, but they did redo textures. Like they redid visual textures, right? Like rather than upscaling it, we know they redid assets, but I think the gameplay is still the same, even though it's on UE5. Which is also kind of hype. That means Bethesda is finally moving away from their damn engine and finally dipping their toes into a real engine. Like, well, not a real engine, into like a new engine. So, knock on wood that the feature is good. I'm kind of scared for Elder Scrolls 6 since Morrowind would have been better. I love Morrowind. I actually never played Morrowind. I only vaguely remember playing Oblivion, man. But freaking Skyrim was always like my comfort game. Even now, I still think it's like a comfort game. I can turn it on and like not get bored, you know? It's always fun. I'll leave it there. Never gonna stop. We'll see what happens tomorrow. I'd stream it, but I think I'm gonna have to leave. Yo, 420 also, did I miss it all? Yeah, dude. We were supposed to read this chapter yesterday, but bad timing. All right, guys, I'm gonna end stream. Have a beautiful day, okay? See you guys soon. Later. I might randomly stream tonight if I don't do anything with Miss Easy Geeky. Like if we just relax, get a bite to eat or whatever, and call it early, I'll probably come back. But it might be unscheduled. ES6 might not be ass. Hey, man, dude. Hold up. Now, before I end stream, I'm gonna go on this whole fucking rant about ES6. They announced this bitch like 8 years ago, my guy. They announced it in like 2017, right? Daggerfall Unity and Open MW. It's crazy, man. I'm sorry. I know I'm dragging out this outro. It's crazy that they announced ESO6. I mean, ESO6. Stop stalling on the goodbye. I know, pissed me off. Easy holding us hostage. I know I'm holding you guys hostage. Look, hold on. This is how I'm gonna hold you guys fucking hostage. Look at this shit. We'll just leave it there. By the way, we've had like 7 goodbyes. I know. You guys ready for another goodbye? Hold up. By the way, we are gonna private the stream just because of those comments. We don't want that to be shown on the YouTube because I know creators can technically still be penalized if they're not like monitoring chat and whatnot. But look at this, dude. This was announced so long ago. The fact that we're getting an Oblivion remaster before Elder Scrolls 6 kind of pisses me off. But the leaks say that the Elder Scrolls 4 remaster, Oblivion, is being done by new people in-house. And I think this is them, like, this is Bethesda training their new employees, right? Try the game? Yeah, I played Oblivion back in the day. I mostly played Skyrim. I think I remember like watching gameplay for Morrowind, but I was too young back then. And even back then, I wasn't like too into older games because I always try to play the new stuff that like my friends were playing and whatnot. Now I'm going into 3 years of uni. Damn, that's crazy, man. Some people probably like were single and like by the time this game comes out, they have like a whole fucking family, dude. It just works. 16 times the graphics. Wait, unironically though, Fallout 76 did come around after that meme. Apparently it's better, but all right, I'm ending now. Later, guys. Why is my aspect ratio so fucking off? What the fuck? All right, later.